Okay, good. Hi, Michelle. Oh, hey, Michelle, your commenting is you. It can be done. So, okay. You are you. All right. I thought I would start a little bit early so we could get the feed shared out. I am about 10 minutes out from Sherman. And I am going directly through my phone today, so I am able to see comments. Yeah, definitely share in all your groups. And then at some point, Michelle, I don't know if you saw my text. I haven't looked at my messages again, so I've been trying to get this going, but... Oh. Well, you have the administrative ability to do that. But, I mean, this is fine. Unless you want to do that, at which point that is fine, too. Thank you, Lisa. But, also, I was hoping you could post the article that you did about the Texas Reconstruction Project on Living Blue. If you could post that article in the comments and pin it so that it's at the top of the thread for the night, that would be rad. I'd appreciate it. I know you're sharing right now, but just at some point. And thank you for your help and support, as always. Thank you, Lisa. I will be safe. Absolutely. Indica. Me too. Coincidence. Be safe. Take your time. It's kind of why I wanted to get it going a lot early. Yeah, no problem. I just figured I would go ahead and get the feed rolling so that it doesn't start the second I get there. I should be coming into Sherman here. I'm in South Maid right now. I took the back roads from my house to get here, but I will not be doing that to get home. I'm going to be taking the highway and the freeway for sure. I've counted more Trump flags in the last hour out here than I think I've seen all week. The way the speed limit changes on these back roads every 5 minutes, man. Sketch. I voted today. Super stoked about that. If you haven't voted yet, you need to get it done. I had to fight for my right to vote for city elected officials as well because they gave me the wrong ballot. Know your ballot, folks. Know your rights. Can't count on somebody to do it for you because today my household of 4 was almost denied the right to vote for city elected officials, even though we pay a ton in local city taxes. Anybody want to guess who I voted for president? Y'all want to hear a joke? What's orange and fat and has to be thrown out in November? And pretty much everyone in the United States is familiar with it. Orange, fat, and has to be thrown out. Big and round, has to be thrown out in November. Any guesses? Donald Trump, that's right. Duh. Okay, I might need to check my... Oh, man, hang on. hold the phone. Okay, I am pulling into Sherman now. Herman Baker Park. I was hoping to have a little more time to spend looking into Sherman and Grayson County's UDC history, but I do have some primary documents from Grayson County in my personal collection already. I know that Grayson County had a prominent and very active Klan, which was in the 1920s regularly associated with the Klan out of Wichita Falls, which was also very active. And of course, we all know that Confederate monuments and the Ku Klux Klan go hand in hand. I'm assuming I will be able to just see, oh, there's a colonial square in Sherman celebrating some colonialist culture.
In 1 mile,
there.
turn left onto South Travis Street.
Thanks, Siri. Looks like we've got a historic cemetery in town. God, all these towns are exactly the same. Cookie cutter Confederate towns, I tell ya. Everything's the same. Highland Avenue. All these Scottish names, Celtic names. Come expecting a miracle at the Greater Life Church. The Greater Life Church of Sherman is handing out free miracles if anybody's in need. Rickett Street. So this is an IOOF cemetery, no surprise. Wood Street. Sam Rayburn Tollway. Cool. So I'm just a couple blocks south of the Grayson County Courthouse lawn in Sherman, Texas, where there is a gathering of local residents with the support of the Texas Reconstruction Project. And I'm talking to 2 people, which is fine, except for that it's not. Thanks for being here. (1901) steam laundry building. The boiler room. I'm glad you think it's funny. If you can't laugh, what can we do? Alright, so we got Elm Street. That must be the courthouse there. Oh, that's a church. Oh, this must be the square here. The Love Monument Company. That's where I think that Denton County's ordered their monument back in the day. Oh, their courthouse square looks just like
At the light, turn left
one.
onto South Travis Street. Then turn left onto West Houston Street.
Okay, so I am on the Grayson County Courthouse Square.
At the light, turn left onto West Houston Street.
Circle.
Then turn left onto South Crockett Street.
Okay, Siri, you need to go. It looks like we have a couple guys from the Texas Reconstruction Project here. And we have a few protesters here on the corner. Some familiar faces for sure.
turn left onto South Crockett Street, then turn left.
All right. Oh, Kodoker. Grayson County Community Supervision and Corrections Department is right across the street. So that's good. One last swig of coffee. I can't figure it out. I'll give you the link and you can copy, paste, pin yourself. You will just comment it here, Michelle, and I'll pin it. If you just comment the link right now, I can pin it to the top. I'm super sad that there's only 2 of y'all. I wish there was more people aware. So why can't I? There we go. I think we just had somebody screaming Trump. Great. Oh. Fair enough. Okay. Oh my God, there's the cutest old man on a scooter. So, interesting to note, the voting election administration and voting center here in Grayson County in Sherman, Texas is right across the street from the Confederate monument. Isn't that cute? Hey. Oh my God. How's it going, people? How you doing?
We got somebody almost had an aneurysm because we were out here.
I heard that. I heard that. I was wondering. So who are our local organizers? Who are the official local organizers? I know
I'm here to support from BL and Brown County. We're up in the range.
Right. Do you guys know who the local community leaders are? Or are there any local community leaders here?
Just all came out here on the signs and shot it all started.
Oh, but are you from here?
I'm from here.
Okay, cool. I haven't met anybody locally. And usually when I come into a community, my name's Jessica. I have a local radio show out of Denton, and I'm an anti-racist activist and a professor at the University of North Texas. So usually when I come out to communities to document, I just like to know who the local community leaders are so I can be respectful of what your local goals are in your community and just make sure that I, that I'm supporting what you're here to do and not here to put my own agenda out. You know what I mean? So I just like to introduce myself and say hi and make sure that I establish those connections. So as more people come out, I would love if you guys could help me just know who's who and introduce people to me. Go ahead, yeah. Is it okay if I put you out there? Okay. So your name is Nash? You live here in Sherman?
He turned it up, dude.
Do you guys tend to counter protesters or?
More so they try to engage us.
shut down.
You guys have dealt with violence?
Yeah, one put his hands on one of our protesters.
Oh, it's a trunk.
When did that occur?
It's a disrespectful
Like
one.
4 weeks ago.
So a counter protester, would you say it was assault, or they put their hands on?
I tried to twist the phone.
Oh, so they don't like so they don't like people who document here. Okay,
Well, they
noted.
didn't like that we were recording them instantly getting angry or about to get violent.
Sure. Okay. Noted. Well, if you guys have anything in particular, like aside from the monument, is there anything else ongoing in the community that you guys are looking to put a spotlight on or bring redress to?
Well, I mean, the main goal right now is the monument, but that's just the symbolism when that goes away. I mean, that obviously doesn't resolve much else than this particular symbolism. So, there's always still things to be done in the community to help improve
Right on.
relations. But I guess that's just something to figure out as we go.
Yeah. How has it been? Is there a community of color in Sherman that's been active?
Yes, somewhat. Unfortunately, I think most people don't want to put themselves like under the radar, be out in the open. And
Yeah.
that's unfortunate. But like we can tell that a lot of people support us. Who just come by and talk to us, and drive by and honk and shout and support.
Yeah.
That shows a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to hang out tonight and document and help scream right along with you, whatever y'all are doing. And if there's anything in particular you see that you want me to document or make sure that I include in a narrative, just let me know.
All right.
Cool. Hey, so you guys are from Bryan County?
We're from Bryan County. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that's Durant.
Yeah, Durant.
Yeah,
We'll
okay,
see you
cool.
Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
Can't wait.
Is you guys' square pretty much like this? We were just talking about that. A lot of the viewers are talking about how, like, this square looks exactly like Cook County and Denton County. Do you guys have a similar setup?
It's a little different. We have the courthouse, and then we have the monument, whatever it is, some generic soldier. We have the county jail in that property. The courthouse and the jail's right there together. So it's in a little square area, but no, it's not surrounded by as many businesses.
It's not at the heart of town. Yeah.
Our monument is much more pathetic, actually. Yeah. Like, wait till you come up there. It's a sorry sight. And we really just want to move it to a museum or Fort Washita that's not far away. But they don't even want that. They'd rather just see it crumble where it is. And it's like, we're the ones trying to preserve history. And I don't know what y'all are trying to do.
Right. So do you guys normally have this going on, this counter message holding? Do they normally come out to do that?
Not usually signs.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sure. So you guys obviously have a message to put out you're looking for some attention to, so I'd be glad to give it to you. So
I'd
what's
have
your
fun.
what's your sign say here?
It says I served in the military so they can stay in here and complain. You're welcome.
Okay.
It's nothing bad.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just a fact.
What is it that people are complaining about?
I don't know. They have a mixed choice of complaints, I guess. Some don't like a statue. Apparently some don't like Germany. Some want police justice. So I guess there's all kind of mixed messages.
Is that what you're basing on having conversations, or are you're basing that on the conversations that you've had with these people, or?
Yes.
Okay,
There's,
so
there variety of complaints.
these folks here you talk to.
Yeah, I've talked to several of them
Okay.
over several weeks.
Uh-huh. And so you think they're just complaining?
Well, that's what it sounds like to me.
They don't have
Right.
statues.
And you think you gave them the right to do that?
I think all veterans did, including the veterans who died on that statue.
That-
Gave them a right.
Oh, those traitors who revolted against the United States?
The United States president said that there was not a foreign country. They were just disobedient children that needed a spanking.
What president said that?
The president during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln. He said,
No, he
I don't
didn't.
consider them foreign. I don't consider them foreign. That was never considered
The
another
President Lincoln never
Now,
said
the
that,
Southern
sir.
people said, yeah, we're trying
What?
to separate.
So, sir,
Lincoln said he wouldn't accept it.
I have a
So-
degree in history, and I can assure you that Abraham Lincoln never said that.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Lincoln led a war against those men.
No, he sent troops in to tell them they were not going to separate. Big difference. But then again, oh yeah, if y'all are worried about the South being traitors, then we need to give this country back to England. Because, we did the same thing to the king, didn't we? We took it over by control.
I'm just curious, how do you feel about human trafficking and sex trafficking and child trafficking?
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
That's why I fight in foreign countries to do it.
Right. It's terrible.
It has nothing to do with child trafficking.
That's a monument to
breaking
sex.
laws.
That's a monument to human traffickers.
Those are guys who thought they were doing the right thing.
No, sir. The Confederacy and the South fought to preserve slavery.
So you're telling no. See,
Correct.
Somebody who's got a degree don't even know the facts.
Oh, see, it's funny. I never meet anyone else with a history degree who tells me that the war wasn't about slavery. I only meet people.
I just have a degree from college.
Only people without history degrees think the war wasn't about slavery. Why do you think that is? That people with history degrees all say the war was about slavery, but people without them say those people don't know what they're talking about. I'm just curious.
You know where that 1 out of 10 people say this or 1 out of 10 people say that. Everybody has an opinion.
It's not an opinion, and it's not 1 out of 10.
There's no facts.
It's based off of primary evidence, and I don't know of one historian, one peer-reviewed, accredited historian, not one, anywhere, who would say that the Civil War was not about slavery.
So it wasn't about taxation. It wasn't about freedom of.
I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. You can read.
Because what I read in my history book said that they didn't want to be taxed.
You can read the articles of the Confederate States of America. They wrote a secession document. They told us exactly why they seceded, and in the words of the Confederates, they said that they were seceding to preserve white supremacy and to preserve the divinely sanctioned institution of slavery.
So you're telling
those are direct words from the Confederacy.
As a historian, you're telling me it's okay to put today's morals, today's laws, and today's rights and subject that to somebody from 100 years ago.
No, but I don't think we should have monuments to human traffickers on our county courthouse lawn.
But yet you don't have a problem spending the $1 bill or the $5 bill or the $10 bill or the $50 bill or the $100 bill. Let's see, every one of those presidents owned slaves.
Yeah, I don't personally think they're pictures.
Down there and spend that $1 bill.
Actually, I don't.
Spend that $1,200 stimulus check. Half of them are against Trump, but they'll spend that stimulus
when people
check.
try to have a real conversation with facts, you get angry and you
I'm
start.
not mad.
You start.
I'm having a great time.
You're making insults.
It's not an insult.
You are. You just assumed that I'm living off of stimulus checks.
After a meaningless statue, when there are way worse things to be protesting, they say something this matters, but they come over here and they attack something like this instead of going after the
Do you support the Save the Children movement?
Save the Children movement? I'd probably say I'm a little bit against that.
The Save the Children movement?
I'm against anything that causes violence.
Save the Children causes violence? It's a movement to protect children from sex trafficking.
Black Lives Matter is supposed to protect black people against the criminal.
Why can't you just answer a question? You know what I think.
Here's more opinions.
Well, this is my opinion, and I'd say it's supported off of fact. I think you're a weak, pathetic, white supremacist who thinks he's big, bad, and tough because he put on a cut with a Confederate flag on it, and because he's a big, bad veteran.
Now we're going to insult each other.
Oh, now we're insulting?
I never said a word.
Oh, he did it. He never insulted me. Get mad, baby boy. Get mad. You're mad. Look at you. You bet.
Her little red pretty dot.
Don't you forget it.
Dot. She's wearing a dot. She's
Look
not
how
even Indian.
look how
She's
red
stealing
you
other
are.
cultures.
Look how red you are.
Huh?
Are you mad? You look
Go away, little
mad.
boy.
Do you kiss your dad?
Go
You.
away,
What are you
little boy.
so red for?
He's
Y'all
so
see how
mad.
red he is?
Go
so
away,
mad.
little boy.
What's the
Go
matter?
do
He's
something
so
in
mad.
life. Go live
This
something.
man-
Listen, if you want to come out here and harass people, at least have the
You came to me.
fucking guts,
You came to me.
sir.
I'm standing here with my sign.
That's right. You can't.
done
You
with
chose
that.
to come join us. You chose to come join us. Welcome. Welcome to the party. You're welcome to stay all night long.
Absolutely.
And so long as you do, we're going to talk about your presence. So you want to come out here and act like you're someone special because you served in the military? Let me ask you this. What branch were you in?
I'm a United States Marine.
What branch were you in? Excuse me. What platoon were you in? What's your rank? Where'd you serve? When did you serve? You know what people do when they don't know the answer and they're nervous? They laugh.
No, I'm laughing because you're ignorant.
All you got is I'm a Marine. What
right.
platoon were you
That's all
in?
you need.
Where did you serve? That's not all I need. You know what I think?
First, the 3rd
I think
Battalion, United States Marine Corps.
you need to
Quantico,
step
Virginia.
back from me
I'm
and
an
respect
0311
6 feet,
security
sir.
force.
You
I
need to
served
step
in
back
5
and
different
respect
corps,
6 feet.
15 doors, so that you can stand there with your cute little dot and go, please stand back, please stand back.
Oh, so not only is he racist, he's also a religious bigot. Go ahead. You sound more and more like the Ku Klux Klan every day.
You know what?
What?
I'll honestly
Tell
say
me.
this. I don't like any kind of hate group that throws bombs and does hateful things. But you know, sometimes
Oh my God, you guys
certain
didn't tell me
people-
people were throwing bombs out here.
You want to go see some of the
Who
other
threw
groups?
bombs? Tell me right now, who threw the bomb?
Ooh, y'all should pull up some film
Who threw the
footage.
bomb?
Watch the news, apparently.
Did you, anybody seen any bombs being thrown in Sherman?
No? Oh, just in Sherman. Oh, only in Sherman did this go on. Gotcha.
Well, we're in Sherman right now. Right? None of your damn business. Why does it matter? I don't need an invitation to be here. I don't need an invitation to be here. This is the United States of America, honey. I have the freedom to go wherever I like. If you don't like it, go colonize somewhere else. Why don't you try out North Korea? Then you could go join that militia and they could, oh, you mad? You mad? Come over here and tell me how, yeah, come on over here, y'all. Tell me how mad you are. Tell me how mad you are. What you want to do.
Get mad. Get
You
angry.
need, I'm not on your husband. I'm standing on public property. They're just mad. Oh, yeah, I'm breathing too much. Let me tell you something. You want to come out here and confront people? Fine. Come out here and confront them. All we're doing is speaking truth. What's the matter? You mad because I'm not scared of you, sweetheart? You want me to stutter a little bit? You want me to get scared? Nobody's scared of you because you went to the Army Navy surplus and bought a cut. Come tell me how mad you are, sweetheart. You come tell me how mad. Tell me how mad you are. Tell me how mad you are. You want to touch your knife? Tell me how mad you are. Brandish that weapon and tell me how mad you are.
She is. It's so funny. That's all she's trying to do. Come on.
That's all I want you to do is get mad, baby.
It's funny.
Isn't it funny?
It's hilarious.
Isn't it funny?
Hilarious.
You should listen to your friend.
It's hilarious. It's funny.
Don't let her do it, Billy. Don't let her do it, Billy. Don't let her show you what a fucking punk white supremacist is. Oh, are you mad too, sweetheart?
No, I'm not. But you need to get over it. All lives matter.
Get-
Just one
She's not gonna get. She's not gonna get over it. She is one of these. She's never been nowhere, never done anything, but she's got a history degree. She has to represent something.
Oh, Bob, calm down.
I'm not the one.
Why don't you tell your tits to stop staring at my eyes? So you're a racist, a religious bigot, and a womanizer. Shocking.
Read the rest of the vest. It's a breast cancer awareness vest. Apparently, you don't care about breasts. Apparently, women with breast cancer is okay.
Oh,
wears
God.
the
Tell me what a good man you are. Please, tell me what a good man you are.
That's why you're out here, so
Absolutely.
Your husband, huh?
Oh, that's what makes a good woman, those who stay at home and take care of their men. Tell me some more about them good old American values, honey. It is.
I love Mormons.
What are you so afraid of? I have a pretty good idea. You are. You're terrified somebody's going to take your statue down?
You love morons.
Don't take my statue down. If you take my statue down, I can't be a white supremacist and feel good about it. I need a monument to human traffickers so that I can feel good about my racism. Because if I don't have a monument telling me it's okay to be a white supremacist bigot, how else will I defend my shitty actions?
If I can't stand out here and yell at people and act like I'm superior than them, then y'all won't get nothing done. So I'm too stupid to go to the voting poll and do what's right.
Oh, I did that today, sugar. Voted for my girl Kamala. No surprise. Your man's gonna lose, and then y'all are gonna come out here crying with your guns like you always do, and then your buddies are gonna have to take you down for acting like dumbasses.
Who's going to take me down? Did you see a gun? See, I'm not scared of you. I don't have to go. In fact, the only person I've seen carrying an open gun, was Black Lives Matter people. You ain't seen none of me. You ain't seen me.
You don't support the Second Amendment? You don't support the military. Honey,
the military.
the only thing you ever served is Trump's knob. Well, I just wanted to say hi. I don't know why you had to get so ugly.
You're the one that was ugly.
No, sir, I came over here and tried to have a conversation with you, and the
Called me all
first...
kind of names.
Oh,
You
I
had
started
loud
that,
every time
huh?
we had the conversation about something you didn't didn't agree with you.
Oh, well, she called me a white supremacist because I am. You never.
We need more of it. I don't know.
Oh, see, that's why we do it,
Maybe we need
folks.
more of it.
That is why we do it, because the more you push them, the more they tell the truth. Go ahead, tell us how proud you are. How proud are you to be white? Yeah, put your sign up. What's the matter? You're not proud anymore? You don't want anybody to see your face anymore? Why not? Because you just said a stupid comment and exposed that you are a white supremacist?
I know you don't see you putting it on yourself.
Oh, honey, here, you want to do a selfie? Here we go, sugar. You and me together, okay? There. That'll make you feel better? Now we got a cameo between the two of. Honey, you didn't fight for me. You didn't fight for me.
A whole bunch of soldiers did.
No, they didn't. There's not a right I have today that you gave me, sir.
Believe that.
Believe it. You didn't fight for me.
Okay.
And I sure as hell didn't send you over there to fight for me, nor would I have. You went over there, if you even did. I still don't even know that I believe you, mister. I can't even say what my platoon is.
Because your facts are screwed up.
You don't believe I have a history degree, huh?
She's probably just a high school dropout.
Yeah, actually, I speak at the Texas State Historical Association, so I would say that at least some pretty established historical associations here in Texas have some support in what I have to say. Oh, he's got a phone call. Shocking. Because people can see you, honey. That's why. Well, it's always fun.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm from Denton. My name's Jessica Luther Rummel, Denton, Texas, University of North Texas. I don't hide my identity. I don't hide who I am. I don't have to. I'm not ashamed to come out here and call out a supremacist when I see one. Not even a little bit. He just admitted it.
Yeah, he just said.
He just admitted it himself, honey.
Are you going to jump stupid like her, or are we guys going to have a conversation?
Oh, well, I'll have a conversation with you.
We're going to try that conversation. She starts screaming and yelling and doo-doo.
Oh, we're supposed to take a guy who has a boobies patch seriously?
I'm supposed to take your dot serious?
Oh, once again, that's right. So, because I'm not Protestant Christian, I'm not valid or human in your book. Shocking. Also sounds like the Ku Klux Klan. Why do you want monuments to human traffickers? Why do you want monuments to child traffickers? That's what they are. So were the Confederate States of America.
As an aggressive foreign country, you can't.
I can. What's your email? I'll send you several. What's your email, sir? I'll be glad to send you the documents. I'll be more than glad to send you the documents, sir.
Let me ask this question.
Why? Back at it again. Y'all, I can't hardly see my screen. I don't know what's going on here.
Today, modern history against something that happened. You know what these kids did? These kids were in a pitchfork.
Kids!
Somebody bigger than them came
Man, the colonel, dude, you don't even know history. You think kids led the Civil War?
I mean, did you want to have a monument to Major Hassan praising him for killing?
Where's the monument to the indigenous persons who fought against invading colonists? Oh, wait, there aren't any.
Again, you're talking about foreign enemies. Show me where the South is a foreign enemy. It wasn't. You can't. Oh, so now it's about criminals.
So only foreign enemies. So should we build a monument to Timothy McVeigh?
Criminals should be taken down. But yet y'all spend those dollar bills that have criminals on. Y'all aren't out here saying, "Hey, change the president's face on the."
Actually, that would be great. That would be great. That would be great.
Anybody here want to take Rosa Parks down for being a criminal on a bus? No. Whoa.
You're comparing Rosa Parks to Confederate soldiers right now. You don't see the racism in that? You just compared Rosa Parks to a Confederate soldier. That's why you don't have a degree in anything.
That statue, if anything, should be embraced by them more than anybody else. You know why? Because it's a reminder of what not to do and not how to be.
So,
He's not anything. It's just a symbol. It's not any particular person.
I don't know what's going on with my screen, but suddenly I can hardly see anything.
It's not bad. It's about a guy who didn't do what he did. Remind us of what not to do.
the Germans thought they were right when they were killing lots of
Never had a
Jews.
speeding ticket in your life, right? I'm asking a question. I don't have any monuments.
You're comparing speeding to owning other human beings. I think it's funny that you don't want to talk to a woman who knows anything. You just want to talk to a man. Does that hurt your feelings to have an educated woman tell you something? Does that bother you that nobody's afraid of you? I still think you're lying about being a veteran, by the way. You know why? Because people who are real veterans don't have to go out and flaunt it in front of everybody. What are you the president of, by the way?
So, guys from the north.
You the president of the booby club? I mean, I'm just looking at your patches here trying to figure it out.
That happened a lot.
So every Confederate soldier was just a drafty, huh? Nobody volunteered to fight? You don't know anything about the Confederate States of America.
That's assault.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I was holding it up. It out of my hand. That's assault of personal property.
No, it's... Oh, look at it. It's destroyed.
Assault of personal property.
Don't put things in my face, sir. Go ahead, explain.
I didn't wave it at her.
Go ahead and explain.
I'm not going to touch your things. You don't touch their things. That's the way it works.
As long as they don't fly it in my face. When he takes it and puts it up in my face like that,
Says he can't do that.
there's no law that says I can't defend myself, sir.
You have no reason to defend yourself.
There's no...
Why are you being threatened?
Sir, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. He's not wearing a mask, and because if it comes into contact with my face, sir, I'm not breathing all over a sign and putting it in his face. What's your name and badge number and your rank?
Lieutenant Western, badge number 9.
With what?
Grayson County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you. Let me tell you something, sir. I am telling you something. You can choose to listen to it or not. You work for me. I didn't break any laws, so don't come over here. Look at you choosing sides. Let me point something out to you, sir. Cause see, let me tell you something. I'm about as afraid of you as I am of that man. Y'all are doing the same thing I see in every community too, which is this. You stand around and at the first... Sir, I'm talking. 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 So like I was trying to say, sir, it's not about a matter of right. It's about a matter of respect. I know it's hard for you to listen to women, but if you try it every once in a while, you might learn something. But what I see you all doing is the same thing I see people doing in most communities. Now, I noticed this officer here didn't do it, but the first opportunity you three had to come in and pick a side, you sure did. And it's nothing new to me. So if you think you're going to come over here and step up on me and intimidate me, you got the wrong one. I'm not here to cause any problems. I'm not here to cause any trouble. Sir, he put it in my face in the middle of a pandemic. I didn't want it to touch my face. I don't want his sign covered in his spittle to touch my face. I think that's a reasonable fear. I didn't touch him or try to touch his face with it. Sir, he flew it towards my face.
You're closer than 6 feet to us.
Thank you.
That's what we're trying to tell
Then
you.
why don't you step back?
I tried. You came over here.
Sir, I stood over in this direction. You came in on me. It's on film. You want to go back and watch it again? I'll be happy to email it to you. Put it on a piece of paper for me and I'll email you the link.
You can send it to the Grayson County Sheriff's Office.
I'll be glad to do it. What's your name and badge number? I asked for your badge number. 15. Great. I'll look you up and I'll send you a cut and I'll show you exactly how when I came over in this direction, you came closer to me, sir, not the other way around. So like I was trying to say, I'm not here to cause any problems. I don't want to get assaulted either. I actually try to avoid that usually. But what I won't do is be intimidated, and I certainly won't stand around and listen while a man wants to come out here and berate people for just trying to peaceably assemble. They have a right to do it, and they have a right to do it without being harassed. And I'm pretty sure I looked it up, and there are harassment laws on the books here in the city of Sherman. You could choose to enforce them and tell these guys that they can't come over here and badger peaceful protesters. You're just choosing not to enforce that law. Then you want to come over and try to enforce something on me because I pushed the guy's sign out of my face so that he doesn't come into contact with my face. Okay? All right, you listen, you learned something. Good, we're getting somewhere. I appreciate your time. I'll be here all night in case you want to learn something else. Great. Oh, I like it. I'll give you a yes, sir, too, all night long. Yes, ma'am. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Can I get you to tell me your first and last name, please?
For what?
For the story I'm going to write about this.
What story are you writing?
The story about what happened here today.
What happened here today?
There was a protest.
There was a protest? The protest is just getting started from what I understand.
Do you want to argue with me or you want to tell me your name?
Well, you said you're writing a story about a protest that already happened, but the protest just started. It's still ongoing.
Yes, ma'am. Your name?
Do you want to quote me about something?
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like to quote me on?
What you said to the officers and what you said to the other fellow. I've got it on video.
Great. Jessica Luther Rummel.
Spell the last name?
Rummel.
And are you from Sherman?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
Denton.
Denton?
Mm-hmm.
What brought you up here?
I'm with here to support the Texas Reconstruction Project and local residents here in Sherman who have been peacefully protesting this monument and wanted people to come out and document what's happening.
So you seem to be upset that the officers walked up and got in the middle of that. Tell me.
No, I'm not upset that they walked up and, as you say, got in the middle of it. What I'm upset about is they walked over and tried to intimidate me. You don't agree? I'm sorry, are you a journalist or are you an opinion artist?
Asking you what you
Well, I'm just going based off your facial expression. See, I'm recording too. Okay. So are you writing a non-biased piece or are you writing an op-ed?
I haven't written anything yet, but
What do you plan to write?
I'm going to write an article.
Is it an op-ed or is it a reporting non-biased piece?
It's a reporting non-biased piece and it stands on my 20 years experience writing those.
Okay. It was just a simple question. It took me 3 times to get you to answer it. So
Thank you. Where are they? That's it.
cool. Have a good day. Try and get it right. Truth is important.
I agree.
That's not going to happen. So you can use the Bible. They use the Bible they use the Bible to defend the actions of slavery for time and time again.
So,
they use the Bible to bash people. They use the Bible to bash other religions.
I cannot. Michelle, you can't ban trolls? I thought you could.
That doesn't work that way. That was a reality. That doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You can't use the Bible.
Who's the troll?
Bad behavior.
Someone give me a name. I'm having a hard time seeing my screen. I don't know what's going on. My screen is gone.
We're supposed to be We're supposed to be subservient. We're not supposed to be slaves. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it didn't. No. What Bible are you reading? You're not. That one is. That Bible, the King James version of the Bible.
Oh, you. Shauna's mad. Bye, Shauna. That bother you? Bless your little pea-picking heart.
Come get a lesson. You're going to get a lesson. Come on. Come get a lesson. Thank you, sir.
So Texas Reconstruction Project professor is going to come over here. And
Save the Queen.
so you can see there's a large number of bikers that have decided to come and put themselves in circle around the table here. I can't really see the comments, y'all. My screen is pretty.
I have on a mask. I have hand sanitizer in my car.
Aha.
Middle of a pandemic. Thank you very much.
There it goes. Yay, I can see my screen again. That's helpful. Yeah. Hi.
Hey.
Believe it or not, I do have a lot of respect for you, and I do appreciate what you do. I did notice that out of those officers, you were the one that didn't come over and get in my face to try to intimidate me, and I do appreciate that.
Keep the peace, ma'am.
But, well, I don't know that that should have to be your job, but I do appreciate you not using your power or authority to try to intimidate me. It's important, and I appreciate that, because that's important to me. Nothing makes a cop more uncomfortable than when you give them a compliment. Can you guys mind if I zoom in on your signs here? Sure, you want to flip it around for me?
I know this will feel weird for some people, but the flag itself is not first, and this is a valuable lesson for people. Can I get a volunteer? Several of them.
Are you able to turn the volume up at all?
Is this making it louder?
Yep, that's a little better.
All right. So let's look at a couple of these Confederate flags. All right. Everybody knows. Everybody knows this one, right? This is what you think of when you think the Confederate flag.
Nope.
Not you. This is what most people think of when they think the Confederate flag. Not only is this not the Confederate flag, it's not even a Confederate flag.
Tell them. Oh, you're going to learn. Don't worry. You're going to learn.
Question and answer session.
He's going to tell you. No, you don't.
Good.
Listen.
Okay, this is still not a question and answer session. I'm going to teach everything to everybody. All right, I'm good at it. All right, can you hold that? If I have to. All right, this is the Stars and Bars.
Yep.
At the beginning of the war, they had an awful lot of discussion and controversy about what kind of a flag to have for the Confederacy. Some people wanted to have a flag that was as much as possible like the old United States flag. So they came up with this here, Stars and Bars, which is the number of stars in the Confederacy, just like the number of stars on the American flag is the number of states in the Union.
How many stars is on that bar?
I don't remember whether this is the 7 or 11.
13 or 32. 13 is 13 colonies. That 32 is 32 states.
You know perfectly well that that is the Stars and Bars. Oh my God.
Sir, it's not the American flag of the 13 colonies. This is a Confederate flag.
Okay, everybody, this is the Stars and Bars. It was the first national flag of the Confederacy, and it didn't work out very well. So here's how this flag came about. So some of the Confederate states seceded. They needed a new flag. Some idiots actually just wanted to keep the American flag because they thought that they were the ones who were holding true to the original Constitution. They were outruled very easily. They needed something that was going to be distinctive. Some people wanted to have something very different. Some people wanted to have that thing which is actually what we think of when we think of the Confederate flag. That flag was proposed by William Porcher Miles, who is a South Carolina professor and politician. But it was those two were two of the four flags that got to the finals, as it were, in the Confederate Congress, and this one was the one that was accepted. Now, everybody knew in advance, other than the people who accepted it, what was going to go wrong with that flag. And everybody actually saw that just a second ago. If you will notice, somebody just confused that for the American flag, which is an awfully inconvenient thing to have happen on a battlefield. But that flag was adopted on the day of Lincoln's inauguration.
Right, so that thing was being adopted in, where was the first capital of the Confederacy? It wasn't Richmond.
Georgia.
I cannot remember the first capital of the
Georgia.
Confederacy. I'm pretty sure it was in Mississippi.
Georgia.
All right. So, many designs for a Confederate flag were proposed. Now, here is a letter from General Beauregard, who was one of the commanding generals at the first major battle of the Civil War, the First Battle of Manassas. And I need my glasses. There we go. I could see about a year ago, and my vision is completely gone. All right. So here is what General Beauregard said, and here's where he said it. This is a volume called The Documentary History of the Flag and Seal of the United States Confederacy, 1861 to 1865, compiled by Raphael P. Tian, Chief Adjutant General's Office in Washington in 1880. So this is a whole series of documents about a whole bunch of Confederate flags. And if you ever look it up online, they got a huge number of suggestions for what to make the Confederate flag look like. There's actually like 10 or 20 pages of them.
Just coming over here to adjust.
They're pretty
this
small,
speaker.
so it's like, you know, there's 20 per page. And there were some really comical ideas that some people had. All right. Whoa. That's fun.
Move to your right.
People can't hear. There you go.
All right. So what he did was ask everybody who knew anything about Confederate flags to please tell him what they knew. Here was what his complaint was. At the battle, so he wrote, so he wrote this in January of 1872. He wrote, at the Battle of Manassas on 21st July 1861, I found it difficult to distinguish our then Confederate flag from the United States flag, the two being so much alike, especially when General Jubilee early made the flank movement, which decided the fate of the day, and I resolved then to have our change, if possible, or to adapt for my command a battle flag. All right, and apparently both sides had gotten equally confused. Each side thought that the other was faking their flag to confuse everybody. But anyway, so General Beauregard went down to his officers and said, hey, can someone come up with a flag? And he said, again, later in the same letter, many designs were presented and we gave the preference to one of those offered by Colonel J.B. Walton, commanding the Louisiana-Washington Artillery, which corresponded closely to the one recommended by Colonel Miles, remember him, to Congress, as our first national flag. All right. What he is talking about is what we think of when we think Confederate
breathe deep,
flag.
honey. It'll be okay.
Right, both were oblong. The field was red. Let's go ahead and move on to this one.
No.
So remember the stars and bars for a few minutes from now. All right. So both were oblong. So this is something that had been proposed by William Porcher Miles. Both were oblong, the field was red, the bars blue, and the stars white. But Colonel Walton's had the Latin cross, and Colonel Miles is the St. Andrews cross. So this is the St. Andrews cross. If you ever look at the Scottish flag, it's just blue with white St. Andrews cross. The Latin cross is... This is the actual battle flag of the Army of Northern Virginia. It was square, which is a little bit unusual. This is the nearest thing that there kind of is to a consistent, the Confederate flag. This flew over a tremendous number of battles. The Army of Northern Virginia adopted this as its consistent battle flag across the entire war after it was proposed, which was very early in the war. Other units all across Confederate armies in Tennessee and everywhere else, they loved this image. So this was the Confederate battle flag. This is the thing that flew over hundreds of battles all across North America. All right, so General Johnston preferred a square flag to render it more convenient to carry. And so in September 1861, they finally adopted this here flag. That is what General Beauregard, who was in charge of what then became the Army of Northern Virginia in 1861. So he was the person who realized that this was necessary. He asked his officers, can you give me an idea? And they came up with a version of something that was already known because William Porcher Miles had already proposed it. All right. So let's go back to, so that was the actual battle flag. Let's go back to the thing that we all know and have feelings about. I won't say we all know it and love it.
Woo! White supremacy! Yeah! Woo! I'm in a cult! Woo!
The issue there is that when they were babies, they were screaming and their mothers didn't come one time, and they're still trying to get their mom's attention, and she ain't coming. All right. So William Porcher Miles got wind of the description that Beauregard had just given about the origin of the Confederate flag, of what was being called the Confederate flag. So in May of 1872, he wrote to General Beauregard, "It is certainly not worthwhile for us vanquished Confederates to contend among ourselves for the honor, if there be any honor in it, of having designed it, and cheerfully would I yield my own pretensions to any merit whatever in the matter to the gallant colonel who with his noble battalion so bravely upheld it until overwhelming hosts of our invaders compelled us to furl it in sorrow, but not in shame. But as I have many times said to many persons, the battle flag was my design, and that I had been instrumental in its adoption, and never until now supposed that the fact had ever been called into question, I feel some sensitiveness, since Colonel Walton's letter and yours have been published, lest my reputation for veracity suffers somewhat." So he then explains that he is in fact the person who designed that. And he explains that he designed it and put it forward as the Confederate national flag before they had adopted any first flag. All right. So that is the guy who designed the thing that we think of when we think the Confederate flag. So what did he think the Confederacy was all about? What was his political ideology in the light of which he became a Confederate? Like I say, he was a professor and politician. He was a professor of literature in University in Charleston.
Oh, he's running to his cop friends because it bothers him that I record him. Can't y'all do something? Protect my rights.
In 1852, entitled "Republican Government Not Everywhere and Always the Best, and Liberty."
It's one of those things about being in public, sweetheart.
So here's what
you make yourself subject to public documentation.
Right.
You don't like it,
So,
keep your racist self at home.
He has been talking about several things.
Oh, cool! I love this game. I love this game. Hey.
He had explained several things before warming to his subject, which is that all men are not created equal. So he says, "I've merely glanced at this matter in passing. It lay immediately in my path to the consideration of one of these prevalent political."
Don't worry, honey. I'm almost done. But you're helping a lot by putting those tattoos up where I can document them. I sure do appreciate it.
Universal belief in this country, and that not a passive, but an
I'm all
active
done.
belief
Thank
that a
you.
public
Appreciate your
form of government is always
participation.
the best form of government abstractly, but that it is necessarily everywhere.
You do need to maintain 6 feet from me. You do need to respect 6 feet social distancing, sir. You do need to respect 6 feet social distancing, sir. You do need to respect 6 feet social distancing, sir. You need to respect 6 feet social distancing, sir. Sir, there is a mandate. There is a mandate in the state of Texas right now that requires that you keep 6 feet distance. You need to take 6 feet back, sir. You need to take 6 feet back, sir. You need to take 6 feet back. Why would you put yourself on that guy like that? Don't do that.
I'm putting myself in between y'all because I'm tired of the division. We got to bring this shit together.
Okay, well, ma'am, I didn't come up on him.
I know.
So you also need to respect 6 feet social distancing, and you're not doing that right now. So could you please also respect 6 feet social distancing? Cool. I would appreciate it if you both did.
Republican form of government is morally and intellectually the highest form, in as much as it presupposes the highest moral and intellectual development of the people. Our own great experiment in America has everything in its favor, whether we look to the charge of the people who see after the position of the country or the adventitious circumstances.
Sir, I kept my distance.
The Anglo-Saxon race seemed to possess.
Oh, he's real cute. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I'm just a child, white supremacist. My parents never taught me any morality.
Which makes them averse from fickle changes. A constitutional equanimity and moderation, in a word, a steady equilibrium resulting from the due mixture of attributes peculiarly their own, sound judgment and practical common sense. I am blushing, being Anglo-Saxon and hearing such wonderful things about myself. But forms of government, after all, gentlemen, it will perhaps be generally admitted, are of less consequence than that which is ostensibly the end of all government, the true interests and well-being of the governed. And this leads me to the consideration of the other prevalent political and social error of the times, which I stated it was my object to lay before you, and which in fact is intimately involved in that which we have been considering. I refer to the common notion that liberty is the birthright of mankind. Nothing can be more fallacious or brighter of the truth. Which means that all
hey, can you get a good shot of the back of his cut?
That's
what I was trying to get, the back of his
jacket.
Yeah.
That among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is false.
Yeah,
And
just
that's
I
not
just
an
want to make sure I
inference.
get a good cut. His
He
cut says president, so I want to know
political
president
liberty,
of what.
gentlemen, I say it boldly, is not an inalienable right, but an acquired privilege. To regard it in
Right.
any other light is to lower its
Which is
value and
88,
debase
which is
its
white
nature.
supremacy.
The monstrous and dangerous fallacy of Thomas Jefferson. Hear that again. The guy who designed that flag, that we all have feelings about, said, the monstrous and dangerous fallacy of Thomas Jefferson, with which our Declaration of Independence begins, has even among us, by thinking men, long been detected and abandoned. And yet this very fallacy, which melts away at the first breath of logic, which vanishes at the first glance of reason and good sense, has been made the foundation, the cornerstone of almost all the political fabrics which the restless imaginations of men in so many countries are striving to erect. But they will find their labor in vain, in that they are building upon sand. Men are neither... No. You're doing great.
So I just want to point out, I pointed this out earlier, but I don't know if it got captured in the video. So here we are. Here's the courthouse lawn in Grayson County. These officers are over here comparing their footage they got of me. So here we are on the lawn in Grayson County, and here's the Confederate monument on the courthouse lawn. Here's all the Dixie defenders as on their motorcycle cuts. You can see them over here in front of the monument, who came to stand in opposition of a free history lesson. And you'll see across the street here, right across the street from the Grayson County Courthouse, is the Voter Election Administration. So again, at the footsteps of the Grayson County Courthouse is a monument to white supremacy, which is right across the street from the election administration. Monument to white supremacy. Sign that says vote. Election administration. Any questions? No. I think it's a pretty clear message. Oh, Cax is with the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Cute.
Lincoln was not an abolitionist. The Yankees did not start the war to end slavery, but the South thought they did. All right. Abolition despotism, against which we are struggling. To avoid the evil consequences growing out of the confusion of flags and battleground, General Beauregard, we believe, adopted the Southern the battle flag I showed you a minute ago, which is so grown in favor with the Army.
So I'm being told in the comments that this gentleman here who was out here from the beginning accosting people is with the Sons of Confederate Veterans. The gentleman in the yellow. I would imagine the majority of these folks wearing Dixie Defenders on their motorcycle cuts. I would assume that they are also associated with the Confederate veterans, as we tend to see. It's funny, they come out here and call everyone snowflakes, but they're the first ones to cry to the cops. She touched my sign. She hurt my sign. That's assault. She assaulted my sign. Crying to the cop. Tell her to stop recording me. She can't record me like that. Crybabies. Talk about snowflakes. Fragile. So, again, if you're just tuning in, this is the Grayson County Courthouse. Here is a Confederate monument erected during the Jim Crow era. And we have folks from Texas Reconstruction Project, a group of scholars out here teaching history about the Confederate States of America, the truth about the flag, and the unquestionable connection of slavery to the Confederacy. And you have a large group of counter-protesters who came out here with Trump flags. Trump flags to defend the Confederacy. Makes a lot of sense, right? We have this gentleman here in the yellow shirt, who I'm told is named Kaz, and who is a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Over here, these folks are wearing cuts, if you can see on the back. I don't know why my screen doesn't want to zoom in. It's really obnoxious. So, these guys over here have Dixie Defenders. This is the guy who got really aggro earlier and thought he was going to intimidate me. Didn't work out too well for him. And so I just want to note that, we have these folks standing under the monument behind the speaker to intimidate them. They've been here since the moment people started gathering. And we have these guys, of course, over here at their pickup who are just kind of hanging out, lurking, and have been. And in case you missed it earlier, again, I just want to point out, Grayson County Confederate Monument to traitors and human traffickers. Vote sign on the county courthouse lawn. Election administration across the street. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm just going to take a little walk around and see what else the square looks like. So things got a little hot there for a second. No regrets. Personally, y'all know me. I have a hard time standing around and passively tolerating blatant bigotry and racism because, that's what they want. They want people to make them feel comfortable and like they have a voice and it's their history too. No, you don't. You don't have a voice when it's a hateful voice being exercised only to make others in your community feel unwelcome and unsafe. And also, that whole I'm a veteran, I fought for your rights to stand here bullshit, you can take that and walk. I never asked anybody to go fight any war for me, and any right I had today was bestowed to me in the Declaration and Bill of Rights. Actually, it wasn't. They had to make amendments to give me those well before any veterans alive today came along. So, I don't buy that either. So they can take that and get over it. Nobody gets to pull that I fought for your rights, I'm a veteran, be nice to me card. Especially when your jacket doesn't even reference your rank or platoon or anything like that. And all you can say is, I'm a Marine. And then the rest of your jacket and cut is covered in racist statements and womanizing statements. And all you can do is stand there and make bigoted statements against race and religion. So it's time for racists and bigots to feel uncomfortable. The cops are obviously really irritated by me. That's okay. Nothing new.
Animate every loyal son of the Old Dominion, Virginia. Let us drive back the invading foot of a brutal and desperate foe. In May of 1861, they were already talking about a brutal and desperate foe when they had had one notable battle and it had been completely gentlemanly. Right? So, let's drive them back, or leave a record to our posterity that we died bravely defending our homes and firesides, the honor of our wives and daughters. Defending them from whom? Right? They weren't defending them from Yankees yet. There was no suggestion whatsoever that Yankee soldiers were ever going to commit any war crimes. They were defending their wives and daughters from black men. That was the agenda. All right. I do, thank you. Oh, now I can see. All right. So they volunteered, according to them, they volunteered to fight abolition foes. The ordinary Southern white man did not own slaves, but that didn't mean that he couldn't fight for slavery. In just the same way that people who currently insist on hyper-overfunding and militarizing the police are mostly not. The ordinary Southern white man considers that his wife and daughter are safe only if somebody owns the black man, not necessarily him. All right, next page is a song. Ordinary marching song written by an ordinary private Confederate soldier. So this was printed in Galveston in 1862. So look at the top. Allen's Lone Star Ballad. Galveston, Houston.
These cops are so nervous and irritated.
As usual,
Bless their little pea bacon hearts.
The victorious And it says
There's my
Confederate
boyfriend.
at the bottom, and the caption says Robert E. Lee. All right, so we've got the Confederate Robert E. Lee saying, as usual, victorious. And then we've got the other one, the sad defeated rooster. I'll change my base and through the Negroes it says sad old age. Now look at what that rooster is. Abolitionists.
Where's y'all's drone at?
According to the people who
Where's your drone at?
company that printed this,
Most of the time the counties fly up a drone, they get all terrified that just because people are talking on the square, something terrible is going to happen. I mean, seems overzealous and silly to me. Just, y'all can't afford one, or?
all right, now that's hard to read, so I printed out the first few stanzas of it. So this song was written by an Alabama private. T.W. Crosby is in an Alabama Hickories, was the name of his infantry regiment in Alabama. And so this was a popular marching song. That's why it was printed early in the war. Now, if you all listen while I relate about the case of freedom, you hear Captain
He redirected his path when he saw me. Yeah, you should probably go a different direction. Watch your step.
You chant the marching song.
I'd hate for you to fall on my live video.
Hurrah for slavery! For Southerners are the boys. For singing, fighting, stop the Yankee noise. As an ordinary Confederate soldier, marching around chanting hurrah for slavery hundreds or thousands of times every day. It wasn't boo for tariffs. It wasn't hooray for states' rights. It was hurrah for slavery. All right. Now, to explain why it is that the ordinary Southern white man would fight for slavery even though he didn't own slaves, we have a noted expert and scholar of the psychology of the Old South, Jefferson Davis, president of the
Looks like some of them are, but not all of them. But yeah, it does look like a few of them are leaving. The truth is hard to hear.
And at the time, they would report a speech in third person, so the journalist was writing down what somebody said. Nobody has ever challenged anything about the
I think pretty much all of them, except for
10
except for
10 years before the war. Colonel Davis said
what's the word I'm looking for? Dallas. And I think I'm going to be able to make Durant. But Durant, Oklahoma. But I think Dallas is the only one I'm definitely not going to. I did. So it costs a lot of money. The problem is that when you're in an area like this, I can't host that many. The Wi-Fi is not strong enough.
Right.
You got to get a booster, and I looked into a booster.
Yeah, it's like $400.
Oh no! Well, the tech dudes I was talking to told me it was going to cost upwards of $1,000 to get what I needed to be sure to host 3 streams, because it depends on. I guess each stream pulls a certain amount of whatever, and
So, are you on T-Mobile right now?
no, I'm on AT&T.
Okay, and that's an iPhone?
Yeah.
I couldn't even get mine. So if you can't connect, you can't record.
Yeah, so like right now, just to be safe, because the signal's so sketchy, I'm not even using the Mevo.
Yeah.
I'm just going through Facebook right now because it's too sketchy and I don't want to lose it, because it pulls more to go from the Mevo through here. So since it's not hot, I'm just going straight through.
It says in June 1865, a battalion of Texas Rangers arrived at Nashville. That doesn't make any sense, as Nashville was not posting Confederate cavalry at that point. However, Terry's Texas Rangers...
Yeah, it makes me do that automatically when I multi-stream. Yeah, it automatically does that.
So there are a couple of people hanging out.
Oh, cool. Now we know which bikes they are.
Actually, there's a lot more to the song, but it's
So Santa Claus and the lady are together. They wrote the trike.
The writer here, a very popular marching song, at least in Tennessee.
It's shocking. Santa Claus, racist Santa Claus.
Lincoln's troops, infatuated fools, taught in abolition.
They don't want to stick around and hear about how racist the Confederacy was. Weird. I don't know why. I wonder who this guy is across the street here.
I don't want ever to have that taken out of context, but yeah, y'all know what word that was. So you've got the entire Confederate Army marching around chanting, Lincoln's troops are abolitionist fools. Right there.
You're going to quote some of this history that he's sharing in your article?
They're going to fight us. Here's what they're coming
if you write one?
They want
Oh, you said you were going to.
The ordinary
So that was a lie?
marched around saying, we're here to keep
Oh,
slaves all the time. This was a marching song.
Oh, well, that's not what you told me earlier. You said you were writing a story.
They were really excited
to write a story.
when the Emancipation Proclamation
Yeah. So you misrepresented yourself as a journalist to get my name. That's okay. I don't hide my identity.
the North was finally admitting.
Okay. But you misrepresented your agenda to get my name. You think you're doing something by catching a video of me out here expressing my rights? I'm not ashamed of anything I'm doing. Why would I be? I'm not trying to pick a fight with you. Why would I want to fight you? That's absurd. Why would anyone want to come out here and fight? Having a conversation doesn't have to be a fight. You can have disagreements without having to fight. Okay. So, I mean, I was just curious why you're not interested in the history that he's sharing, considering it's pretty relevant to the protest. It is literally the point of the gathering tonight.
So the Vidette in late 1862.
Okay.
So this was
You familiar with any of this history?
Heard about the Emancipation Proclamation. And some soldiers,
Truth hurts, I suppose.
unsigned article,
What was your name again?
that a Union man to acknowledge this is an abolition war.
Cool. The Herald Democrat. You know, the Herald Democrat was called the Herald Democrat more than 100 years ago.
The Yankees are lying.
Oh, it wasn't, huh? What was it called then?
Something else.
Called the Sherman Democrat.
Right, you're right.
It is a hard matter.
Right, but it's always been named after Democrats, even before the party switched. It was a pro-Confederate newspaper. Have you ever looked at any of the articles put out over 100 years ago in this community? They reflect a lot of what he's talking about. It might be relevant to the article that you're writing. You should check it out. You might be surprised at what you find. You're welcome. I didn't do it. I think we just ran out of power. You can project, can't you?
Now that we got the Emancipation Proclamation, any man who pretends to believe that this is not a war for the emancipation of the blacks, and that the whole course of the Yankee government has been not only direct for the abolition of slavery, but to stirring up servile insurrection, is either a fool or a liar. Southern soldiers were thrilled.
So at this point there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16, including the speaker, 16 anti-racist activists out here. And there's still maybe 6,
So what they do after the war?
6, maybe 7 counter-protesters visible. A few behind the speaker still. Pretty small turnout here in Grayson County for sure. I know that the movement here has been small. It feels to me a little bit like preaching to the choir. The folks who are out here listening are people who already largely agree and know that this monument is associated with a legacy of white supremacy. I'm sure they're learning more details about that, and hopefully they can use some of the language they picked up here today to educate others in their community. But what is certain is the people who need to hear it most, the Confederates, the sons of Confederate veterans, the white supremacists who came out to stand here and counter-protest, are certainly not here to listen or learn a thing. If you saw earlier, I zoomed in, they're wearing cuts that say Dixie Defender on them. So they're here with a very blatant oppositional message. And there are still 2 here standing here in support underneath the Confederate monument. Right now he's reading from the Ku Klux Invisible Empire book written by the UDC, which put this monument up.
That the Confederacy and the Klan were the same thing.
Yeah, they did.
This is overtly a Klan monument.
Yep. He just did. I don't believe it. Make Trump say it, then I'll believe it.
2 + 2
Okay, we're all good now. So how do the Southern soldiers also feel? Well,
Come on, racist Santa Claus, do better.
all right, let's come back to history. No, go off a little bit. All right, that's what I'm doing.
Please don't correct me.
So at Hood's Texas Brigade Monument, which was erected in...
See, Michelle, here's my problem. I didn't come out here to be told how I should and shouldn't protest, that I shouldn't confront activists. If Texas Revolution Project does not like people calling out racists, they shouldn't invite anti-racist activists because, see, I don't come out to make friends or be nice to racists or blatant white supremacists. So if this is any key of how this is going to go forward, a lawn full of white men talking to a bunch of other white people with very little inclusion of black voices, I'm going to have a problem, especially when they confront the people out here confronting racists more than they do the racists themselves. That's a real problem. Standing out here and speaking this truth is great and all, but if you're not willing to call racists out for being racists, what's the point? Yeah. I don't like it.
Now, I have just shown you the convincing, conclusive evidence that the Confederacy's reason for being was to preserve slavery. That was the most brazen form of white supremacy in American history. You can say that white supremacy in American history has had roughly three forms.
Here's my boyfriends. There they are. There's my boyfriend. He's mad still. I'm so mad. Look how mad he is. I'm a white supremacist and I'm angry. Somebody needs to shut her up. Tell you what. Oh, I'm a tough guy. Look how tough I am. Chumps.
And weirdly enough, healthcare resources for impoverished people are directed more towards impoverished white people than impoverished black people.
I mean, you guys, this is just really awkward. Very, very awkward. Talk about preaching to the choir while standing around and tolerating a bunch of hecklers. I just don't understand, really. As a teacher, I feel like it's like allowing disruptive asshole students to stay in class and harass people. You know, what's the point? What's the point? Oh, look, more friends have arrived. Let's go see who this is. We got ourselves a new truck. New truck just pulled in here. I'm gonna go see. Oh, I do want to get the license plates on these bikes.
We've always been repeating our history, right? And you can't tell them that Confederacy, which said tied to their exclusively to slavery with white supremacy, then you can't repeat that.
Needless to say, that little action there, documenting their license plates, bothered them. You must have missed what? Did someone say don't talk to them? Yeah, every time I say something, Brian instructs me to, okay, back to history. Like it's, I mean, I get it. He's here to teach something. That's great and all. But if you think you're just going to come out here and get silence, that's not really inclusionary. It's just a person taking a platform for themselves with an agenda. Not really what I'm here for. I support history, obviously. I support the research that he's offering. But I also won't be told to be quiet by anyone. Not anybody. Ever. So you can see, here's the state of the crowd. Oh, here's a good shot of the election administration. I was pointing this out earlier. So you have the Confederate monument on the Grayson County Courthouse lawn, which stands as tall. You can see it through the trees there. It's as tall as the building itself, towering above the Grayson County Courthouse. And so this is the seat right over here. You have across the street, you have the Grayson County Community Supervision and Corrections Department. So this is the seat of justice in Grayson County, the seat of criminal justice, supposedly, and democratic legislation, or excuse me, democratic processes. And here you can see on the courthouse lawn, there's also signs directing people to vote at the Elections Administration building, which again is literally across the street from the Ku Klux Confederate Monument. As I said before, no such thing as coincidences. It is blatant voter intimidation in order to suppress voters. So you'll see here now, here's another prime example of an officer choosing sides and siding with white supremacists. Since I walked over there and documented these license plates, he's now positioned himself on the sidewalk as if I'm some kind of threat, because I'm standing out here documenting. And while they've tried to make it discreet, there's been a lot of communication between this lieutenant here and the white supremacists who are in attendance. Did you get my full name earlier, by the way? Did you need me to spell that for your research later? Yeah, absolutely. Of course I'll give you my name. Why would I hide my name from you? Well, you've been... Sure, my name's Jessica Luther Rummel. Absolutely. You gave me your name and badge number. It's the least I can do. You did. What are you most concerned about? Luther Rummel. 2 words. I'll spell it for you. Luther Rummel. Luther Rummel. E-L. Jessica. Jessica. Middle name Ray. R-A-E. I sure do. Where do you live? Okay. Wow, you travel all the way from Collin County to be a deputy here in Grayson County. I guess if you're on the line, it may not be too bad, yeah. Right on. It's always weird to me, the idea of officers patrolling communities they don't live in, you know? Like, how would you know the people you're interacting with or feel an obligation to... Right. I guess, maybe. I guess it depends on how you do your job.
Yeah, if you're out running around checking, people, then you get the number.
Yeah, if you're doing that, yeah. Is that what you do? You don't do that. What do you do? Can you tell me a little bit more about what that means? Criminal Investigations Unit. So they have a criminal investigations lead out here at a educational rally. So they sent the head of SWAT and criminal investigation to oversee a gathering of people giving a history lesson.
Our job is to protect the courthouse.
Oh, you're worried about the white supremacists that came out. Right. You're worried about the white supremacists that came out with their... Oh, you must be worried. You just... Well, why else would the county send out the head of SWAT and criminal investigation? But you guys aren't normally out here. You're not normally out here every evening. Right here on this square. Right here. Standing right here. Really? You guys are that scared about something happening to the courthouse?
I'm not scared at all. We just don't want it to happen.
So, but there's that much concern that something might happen to the courthouse that every day the head of SWAT is stationed on this lawn? But that's 2 different things. If you're coming here daily to visit your office, that's different than being stationed out here on the lawn to... Nothing, but you're not answering my question. You're responding with misleading falsehoods and then posing other questions. I asked you, sir, if you were out here every night out here every Thursday whenever there's protests. Peaceful assemblies. Every Thursday there are peaceful assemblies. And for that, the Grayson County Sheriff's Department feels they need head of SWAT and criminal investigation out here. You guys don't have just regular patrol deputies, but also you as the head of SWAT that's probably your boss telling you not to talk to me. They tend not to like it. I get those. I'm getting a lot of those right now too. So do you see any correlation to the idea that increased police presence at a nonviolent assembly kind of sets a tone of an expectation of violence? No, I didn't say that I didn't. I didn't say that I don't understand. I've been asking to try to get an understanding. How would I understand that? Because I've had weapons pointed at me and officers didn't do anything. I was assaulted on a Denton County courthouse lawn in the back with a rifle and nobody did anything. I've been told I have a bullet on my head while people are holding weapons in a ready position in Cook County. And nobody did anything. So for you to tell me that I should know that or expect it is...
We're always here to protect our people, correct?
Well, I have not experienced that. I have...
That's what I've been doing for 20 years.
For instance, okay. And I don't know you. And I don't presume to, which is why I want to have a conversation with you. Believe it or not, when people are willing to not insult me or make degrading comments to me, I appreciate that, and I wouldn't do it to you either. So long as you're having a civil conversation with me, believe it or not, I am capable of it. And I will never be the first person to be ugly. I can promise you that, sir.
Our job is to protect the courthouse. Our sheriff wants us out here, so does our county judge, to
Right.
make sure no one obstructs the property.
Right. Have you had any threats? I'm just curious.
Yes.
You've had threats made directly against the courthouse?
Yes.
When did those start? When did those threats start?
Months ago, when we started having the protest.
Really? How were those threats made?
On Facebook, everywhere you can see. Tear down the monument. Tear down the monument. So we're here to make sure...
Oh, so people saying they want the monument taken down and they're using the language tear down the monument. You guys are taking that as a threat? I want the monument torn down. I want it torn down.
On social media that you're going to tear down the monument, and we're going to be here to make sure you don't.
But I haven't seen anybody say that, and I've been monitoring it. And I would think if you guys had credible threats like that, wouldn't it be public knowledge? Wouldn't y'all want to be like putting that stuff out?
That's why we're here.
I've seen people saying take the monument down, tear the monument down.
Make sure it doesn't get taken down. No
But
paint sprayed on it, no graffiti. No...
Have you? You said you've been here every Thursday, and this has been going on for months. Have you seen anyone out here with spray paint trying to spray paint the monument? Have you seen anyone with chains or explosive materials or anything that they might be able to use? Right. Do you think that if they were going to do it... Right, but do you think if they were going to do that, they would do it on Thursday evenings during the protests when they know you're going to be here?
They could do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday.
That would probably be the most likely time. If somebody was going to do it, they probably wouldn't do it when the protest is going on. Right. That they want it torn down?
Right, and if we know that there's going to be protests here, we have to just be here to make sure they're not destroying property. That's it, and to protect y'all, because if someone comes by that doesn't have the same agenda you do...
As appears to be the case.
Right? So if
right.
someone drives by that doesn't have your agenda, who wants to start trouble,
yeah.
pulls out a gun, shoots at someone,
yeah.
right? And if we're not here, then what?
I'm not saying you shouldn't be here. Again, I'm not saying you shouldn't be here. I'm just trying to understand the entire situation because I haven't been here. I'd like to ask you one more question if you don't mind. And I really do appreciate you having this dialogue with me. I really do. I respect you for it and I appreciate it. So what do you think is a more viable threat or potential threat, that somebody's going to try to tear down this monument illegally, or that there would be some sort of retaliatory violence or attack on protesters who are out here calling for its removal? You think both are just as likely to happen? About 50-50? Have you...
We don't know what's in your purse. We don't know what's in your bag. Someone could sneak around behind the monument, spray paint it, do some graffiti while I'm standing here and I can't see the inside of that monument, right?
That would be really dumb for them to do it while you're here.
I've seen a lot dumber.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. Yep, sure.
Showed up on the floor of the United States House of Representatives just a few weeks later. And you saw Reagan, who was a representative from the great state of Texas.
It's always fun.
On January 15, 18,
So,
he was talking
it
about
seems
all the
like
secession was being sold. Right?
these folks have been out of here every Thursday, and now the I'm such an antagonist. Yeah, sure. I must have it. So, even though we have tons of footage of violent reactions and attacks on nonviolent activists in North Texas, and no footage of monuments being torn down or vandalized in North Texas at all. None. No reports whatsoever. This lieutenant thinks that there's an equal opportunity, equal likelihood that it would happen. So these guys think I'm real funny. And so here's what I don't like. This that's going on right here is just giving a stage. It's just giving them a stage. Look at this. So this is why I don't like what's happening right now, because all that's happening is they're giving white supremacists a platform.
Which is absolute fiction.
I have a real problem with this.
Totally made up. And I don't know whether
Real
John
problem with
Reagan
that.
knew that he was making this stuff up, or whether he was just incredibly gullible and desperate to be afraid to justify what he was about to do. All right, so there now lie in ashes near a dozen towns and villages in my district. It didn't happen. The poisonings were only arrested, right, so I mean, four of them were county seats, only two cities that actually burned.
Trump flag. They're holding it.
Two of them were the best towns in the district.
Let it wave
The
down in front of that
poisonings
one.
were only arrested by information which came to light before the plan could be
There you
carried
go.
into execution, which is to say, we never actually found anybody getting poisoned, but that was definitely going to happen. No poison
I don't think
was
he
ever found in
understands
the
what I
slave
meant.
quarters. No abolitionist encampments were ever discovered with any poison. They just made it up to be afraid of it. Right? And the only evidence that they ever had that this was going to happen.
It's very awkward.
You can get people to admit to a lot of things if you beat them up hard enough. So they took some enslaved people and they said, hey, y'all got poison, right? No. Are you sure? Let me beat you up a whole bunch. Okay,
Pretty
fine,
sure
you
that's
got
illegal.
poison. Whatever you want, man, stop. All right, so complete fiction, and there it is showing up on the House floor. And then it shows
Hey, y'all, so I'm just curious. In Denton County and Cook County, it's illegal to stand on the monument. It's considered a potential harm and defacement because it's a historic structure. Do y'all enforce that here? Or?
No, because the other group, y'all's group, sometimes it's
Whoa. Y'all's group? I don't have a
I don't know
group.
what side you're on.
I don't have a side. You see, this is what I do. I'm an anti-racist activist. I don't have a side except for I don't like
Come out here
racists.
on Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. Have stood around that monument and stood on the monument.
Okay.
They haven't destroyed it, and we've let them do it.
Okay. Cool. So, I just want to confirm in Grayson County, it is not a crime to stand on the monument.
No.
Okay. Noted. Thank
County
you.
judge tells me something different tomorrow. Then it'll be something different tomorrow.
Is the county judge allowed to make
Laws,
it?
he overrules the county, correct? Judge?
Right, but by law, they would have to have an agenda item, and they would have to go to court. He can't just tell you tomorrow that that's illegal.
I'll have to look at the law, see if there is a law in the book that says you can't stand on the park bench.
Yeah. Do you happen to know? I see there's a historical marker over there, so I would assume that this is registered with the Texas State Historical Association. Yeah. So there are certain federal preservation laws. Yeah. That the county's obligated to enforce. I think in general you wouldn't.
It's on county property.
Right. Yeah. And I don't think in general it is per se illegal unless it was deemed that the fact that it was happening, that it was causing some kind of destruction.
We're pretty, what's the word? We're not hardcore, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
So we're not going to make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah, no. Well, okay, cool. Well, and again,
Let everybody get along.
one of the main reasons I ask is because there's been in some of the communities I've been to, I have seen a real disparity in the equal enforcement of laws. You know what I mean? What's good for the goose isn't always good for the gander. So I think it's important to document and clarify the expectations of local authority so that it is equally, those expectations. My daddy always said, if you have clear expectations, you get clear results.
Right. Well,
I can tell you if we were told that they do not want anybody on the property of the courthouse, then they would have to be removed, right? Because if they don't, it's criminal trespass at that point, correct?
By they, you mean the commissioner's court?
Yeah. If they decided, right, if they didn't want to do this, have to have a permit, no more protests on the courthouse lawn, then yes, that would be something we could enforce.
Right. Yeah, well, to do that, they would have to have an agenda item and enforce them, but yeah, put in a permit process for everyone, because that would be a suppression of First Amendment rights, considering this is public property.
Correct.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I love? A cop that knows the law. You'd be surprised. I talked to a lot of officers.
28 years.
Well, and I respect that, but I've talked to a lot of officers with a lot of time that still don't know the law. So I'm saying I appreciate the opportunity to speak to an officer who does. You know what I mean? It's a good thing, but it's not always the case, and it's not always the case, and it's not something I experience all the time.
So you've experienced
28 is going to be Frank Charles George.
Indeed.
3947. Frank Charles George 3947.
Oh, I don't know, Michelle. I think that's going a little far. So what's happening right now is you have these guys are reading excerpts from the Confederate secession documents, I do believe. To a very small and dwindling crowd, while Trump supporters from the local community continue to stand behind and around the monument and hold Trump 2020 flags as people espouse white supremacist rhetoric. It's pretty great. They don't understand. So Michelle, that comment about how nice that cop is, that cop's not nice. That cop hates me. I'm only pandering to him at the moment to keep him talking to me so I can hold his words against him later when they don't enforce the same laws.
We are Americans, and we're not going to stand by and let these monuments to white supremacy be representations of our community anymore.
Think her arm's going numb? So I think at this point they're making like have an open mic going on, and people from the community are just giving their statements. I'm not quite sure what's going on. There's my boyfriend again. So the later the evening gets, there does appear to be an increased presence of bikers in the area. So here we have some, I love this sign. So good. Love it, love it, love it. Woo! Preaching to the choir, darling. Yes.
I'm not just preaching.
Oh, I have no doubt. Hopefully the idea is to give people language, right? That's the idea. I think you definitely accomplished that.
The idea is for people to know our history better.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
From my point of view, the big thing to do is to take these as an occasion to teach why they shouldn't be there. and actually taking the thing down is like if you were to pass a history test.
Yeah.
Which is one reason, by the way, why I don't support the vandalism, do-it-yourself approach. I don't freak out when people do that. I'm not.
Well, we haven't seen anything like that in North Texas at all.
We haven't, and
yeah.
Like I say, I don't freak out but I don't think it's the right approach because it's basically like being the one kid in class who did all the work and everybody else.
Right. I think the struggle for me tonight, witnessing this, is it almost seems that this has created a platform for white supremacists to come out and espouse their counter. Because I think you could slap them in the head with 20 history books and it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Not that we shouldn't do this. Obviously, I still think it's important. I guess my struggle is finding a way to do it that doesn't make white supremacists feel comfortable. So it looks like this group is going to march around. You need help with anything, Brian? You need me to grab anything?
I don't know even whose this is.
Okay. I think they're just marching. I don't think they're leaving.
Everything that actually has value.
Okay. Oh, there's a time capsule here, like the one in Denton. So the Grayson County group is marching around the courthouse. I'm going to follow along behind them. First Amendment. You don't need a permit to march. It's called the First Amendment. This guy over here is saying we need a permit to march. For fuck's sake. Let somebody, he's over there trying to tell the cop, Taylor, you can't film me. Fragile little white things. So it looks like I'm going to try to cut these guys off.
That racist statue has got to go.
Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? So these guys are marching, looks like about maybe a little more than a dozen. We do have some counter protesters moving with them. Apparently they don't trust the local authorities to do their job. This gentleman here is an example. That racist statue has got to go. Ho ho! That racist statue has got to go. Ho ho! That racist statue has got to go. At least she's shaved. What does that mean? No! That racist statue has got to go. The guy just drove by and said, go back to Denton. Ho ho! That racist statue has got to go. This is what democracy looks like. This is what America looks like. This is what community looks like. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Ooh, careful with the America First, man.
For the Union! For the Union! For the revolution!
Michelle. So these guys did a lap around the Grayson County Square. Should be greeted by a group here. So these guys this guy brought his children out. There's the reporter from the, what did she say? The Herald Democrat.
I told you what they did about it.
The Texas Reconstruction Project is here to give history lessons. She didn't want their name.
You know what it is? They're worried about, who's hitting their website up right now because of the debate and whatever. And it's so wild because when we first got it, they ran up in your face. Hey, can we talk to y'all about the movement and what you're trying to do? And every time you meet and talk with them and the news organizations, every time you meet and talk with them, the stories change. It's just like, oh well, what are you doing here? Or how many people did y'all have there? And this, that, and other. It doesn't matter if you want to know it. Come out and see what we're talking about. But it's clicks. They want clicks. Their eyes on the TV. It's like, yeah. And it's just like this. I mean, their numbers keep on falling. Just like in Durant, the numbers just keep dwindling on that part. You're going to outlast it.
Oh, all right, thank you.
You want to outlast the foolishness.
They'll just write what they
what they want. Yeah, right. Well, you see that with all of different groups there in town. So just a bunch of foolishness. Right.
So it looks like. I said, so what kind of crowd do you guys expect in Durant?
We're not sure. We just aren't sure. The last one we had, it was probably a crowd about this size, and it was what maybe 10 or counter protesters, and it was about a segment this size, but not very many counters. So
they're very interactive.
They are now. They're vocal, and they'll get up in your chops and.
Oh, they won't get up in mine.
I know. I'm so glad you talk them out too. So.
I guarantee you they won't me.
And you'll have a couple. Most of theirs will be scrapped. They'll have guns on them or whatever. And I don't know if these guys will. But they'll have their guns. Some of them will have their long guns across their back.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have their motorcycles revved up and trucks or whatever. But I'm just not sure how many will show up. So.
Are the local authorities enforcing any kind of noise ordinances against y'all with megaphones and stuff?
No.
Okay, that's good.
They jump outside the doggone. They'll look out the window, or they might pull up. It's.
So are the local law enforcement is really keeping a distance then?
Yeah.
They're letting the white supremacists come in and police the situation.
They think they're punking us, but it doesn't scare us. I mean, it's just like right here, Brian teaching. That's what we've been doing. We've had a couple of engagements, but we'll just like we're not going to do that. We'll catch our breath, and then we start teaching. And just like then they don't. You hit them with truth bombs. They don't have anything else to say.
Except for Trump 2020.
But we know what that's about. I mean,
sure we do. When you hear people standing out teaching white supremacist histories and the only response is Trump 2020,
that tells you
it's pretty clear.
He may not be a racist, but the racists believe he's a racist.
Yes, yeah. Oh, well, we all know he's a racist.
We know that. Yeah, his history tells you that.
Where I'm from, if it walks like a klux, talks like a klux, and acts like a klux, it's a klux.
Then it is.
That's it. That's it.
I'm so glad you told those fellows right there, hey, we pay yourself.
That's right.
This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You don't protect them more than you protect the other side, and we're paying y'all damn salary too. The thing is, it just bothers me. I hear this, do you have a job, business all the time? I got a damn job. I've never not had a job.
Sure.
Do you have a job? Because you always running your lip. I see you on Facebook all the damn time.
Well, you know, it's my understanding from what I've been told, that gentleman in the yellow shirt that was really getting aggressive, I was told it's my understanding that he's a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans.
Probably.
Right. So it's literally his sworn oath to protect this monument at all costs. And he has, you know, to some degree been indoctrinated. But also, it's also 2020. And I don't believe in the age-old, oh, they just weren't taught any better. They don't know any better. I don't believe that anymore, because the truth is out there. And when people come out and read from direct primary documents like tonight, and they give you primary document fact and evidence over and over again, and all they can do is sit there and be disruptive, they're like the little shit in class who just wants to thump his pencil and pull his dick out in front of everybody. Yeah. Well, what they want to be is white supremacists, and they want a monument to justify and validate
the white supremacy.
Right, exactly. That's what they want. Well, I applaud y'all's efforts. I think it's great that this is happening. I'll continue to try to support it.
It just takes a little bit. It didn't build up in one little, just throw it down there like rain. It takes a little bit to fill up a lake.
Yes.
So,
yes.
You got to have streams of water coming here and there to get this stuff together. So.
Real friendly, has been real friendly to the whites.
Oh, they all have. Yeah, they all have.
That one in particular.
Yeah, one thing that we see, and I'm going to just zoom in and document that, is the friendliness of local authorities with local white supremacists. It's always the case.
But Black Lives Matter. We hate the police and all that stuff. When most of us have policemen and women in our families, all we need is the same protections, and we don't even get the same damn protections. You see, that bothers me so much. When you sitting there, you paying the same amount of taxes as everybody.
Sure.
it infuriates.
Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, equal representation under the law.
And you don't get it.
Right.
Never have.
Right. I think that it's interesting that they deem just the presence of people being here to do anything but celebrate that monument as a threat to it. Right? Just the idea of coming out and speaking against it is a threat. Yeah.
In Durant, I guess they pull up and they think we're going to just take it down at one fell swoop, and we just laugh about it, The other week we went out and protested, and we took little plastic, little old fake ass trophies, and for participation trophies, and put on the damn thing. Boy, they got so damn mad.
They took those things down like
they got mad, boy, and I'm just like, that's good. It's a damn participation trophy. You were second place.
How well do you think it would go if I went over there and tried to shake the hands of all the officers like that, the way he just did?
I don't know. It wouldn't go very well, because he said you have social distance or whatever, They
don't know. They don't know what we're about.
Yeah.
Curious. If it wasn't for the fact that I don't want to touch any of them.
Yeah.
Maybe,
one came up to me, you want to shake my hand? I said, dude, we're in the middle of the pandemic. I am not shaking your damn hand.
No shit. And you don't wear a mask.
And I went down there and got my damn hand sanitizer.
Right.
So, they pieces of work, though. Guys are pieces of work.
Well, it's always interesting.
But golly, can you see the young ones? And they're fixing to breed. And that's the deal. They fixing to have babies. And that's, I feel for them babies, but I just pray that God does the due diligence and bless them with a black child. Or a Mexican child. Or a Choctaw child. Or Asian child.
Oh, I don't know, honey. I'll tell you. Here's the thing about that. In Cook County in Gainesville, I document a lot of. There's a family who brings out their mixed children and puts them in White Lives Matter shirts and brings them out to espouse racial rhetoric. I know, but it just hurts my heart to see it.
Them kids will see it.
I know.
And when they do, all them folks ain't gonna have that.
I hope
have a hard time. And that mess right there just, you ain't doing nothing but making noise. But when they do, baby, they get them little feelings hurt. When them little black babies and they bring home them dark skinned blacks. Just love it. Love it. The ones that hate the gays and they bringing the most femme little gay boy or whatever home. I just love it.
Diversity is a good thing.
It sure is.
It
Yes,
is a good thing.
Yes, it is.
Though I don't know how good it is for people who live in communities like this. It's interesting to me, in all the conversations that I had with these officers, there wasn't a single smile shared, you know, even when I laughed and tried to break the ice and tried to be, you know, like, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Right. And then the white supremacists go over, the guys who've been coming out to intimidate people.
They're nut grabbing.
Yeah.
Jock riding.
Yeah. Can you see my dick? No. Can you see my dick? No. Can you see my dick? No. Can you see it's soft? It's a little chubby. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Do you want to touch it?
Right.
Yeah. That's all that is. That's all it is. Just dick waving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know this woman over here says she's a reporter?
Yeah, I don't know.
Has she come to talk to you?
No.
So this is an anti-racist protest against a Confederate monument. You're the only, with all due respect, you're the only black person I see here.
I know there was another lady earlier.
She did. I did notice
she
that.
left,
She left.
Yeah.
But the reporter who's supposedly covering an unbiased story, she didn't bother to talk to you.
But that's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Just an observation of mine. Just an observation. Okay. But I didn't want to say it unless I knew it was true. So that's why I wanted to ask you.
But someone said they called the newspaper and said, hey, they're having a rally, send somebody out. And the lady said, well, how many people are out there?
Mm-hmm.
And, well, it wasn't enough, so she stayed at home.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's and at the very beginning, though, I mean, they were all over the place and everything, and click, you know, the clickbait, they need the clickbait, and people on their eyes on their televisions. And right now, I guess since everybody's watching this debate tonight.
I mean, they were just so silly because everybody knows you can watch it on YouTube whenever you want. We can watch how many devil flies land on Trump. Maybe it'll be like a whole plague of locusts tonight. I can't wait to find out.
He sure brought out the cockroaches, though. That's a insult to cockroaches.
She's no longer recording, and she was only recording. Oh yeah. Oh, they're all friends. Look at them. They're all good friends.
Yeah, can I have a hug and keep protecting me? You better protect me if something happened to me.
Y'all should get a room. Hey, I love when I can make a deputy laugh. I sure do appreciate it. I did. Hey, there's nothing wrong with laughing.
About that. Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
He go in the right part of the country without his shit on. See what they do for him.
Mm-hmm. See, it's interesting to me. I did note earlier, and I spoke with that officer. I can't remember his name. I'd have to look back at my footage. But earlier when the situation happened with the sign and the guy flew his sign towards my face and I knocked it out of his hand. Because I'm not going to be slapped in the face with a sign in a pandemic. It's not going to happen. You know, when all those officers decided to come up on me to try to intimidate me, he's the only one who stood in his position and didn't do that. And I did notice that, and so later I brought it up to him. I said, I just want to let you know I did notice that, and I appreciate you not exploiting your power to intimidate me or choose a side. And it was obviously made him really uncomfortable that I was recognizing that. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, yeah, I can recognize when you did something good. You know, like I don't just stand out here. Michelle says have to watch live for drinking game.
But the great part about this though is, and I think I mentioned this earlier though, the more you hit these guys with facts, the more they shut up.
It's kind of hard, right? You know,
it is, and it frustrates you. It frustrates you. Yeah. But when you but.
Well, they're not what?
The police aren't wearing masks.
Because they're invincible.
Because COVID is a hoax, girl. Don't you know?
They're invincible.
Don't you know?
They're tough.
And it's.
Am I allowed to say if I get pulled over, like, yo, 6 feet?
Yeah, you need to tell them. You need to tell. Well, you know when everything first started though, they didn't hardly pull anybody over and write any tickets because they didn't want to walk up to the car and expose themselves possibly to COVID-19. So the ticket writing was down. Don't pull nobody over.
I'm going to go talk to these guys standing out here on the corner briefly. Tell me your name one more time. Tyrone.
Yeah, and I'll see you Sunday.
You're going to see me Sunday. Yep. And what was your name?
I'm Brooke.
Brooke?
See you Sunday
Nice
too.
to meet you. Are you from Durant too?
Yeah, I'm from Durant.
Cool. I'll see you Sunday. I'll be around. I'm just going to kind of move around a little bit. Hi guys, how y'all doing? Hey guys, do you guys mind if I speak with you for just a minute before I go tonight? Do you mind if I document with you? Is that okay? Are you guys from here in the local area?
I'm from here, yes.
You're from Sherman? Are you from Sherman? Yes. Are you Bryan County?
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's like right across the border.
Oh, north. I was like, where's Bryan County in Texas? I'm like, I know North Texas counties pretty well. Where the heck is Bryan County? But that makes a lot of sense.
I'm with the BLM.
Okay, BLM. So, these guys think they're really tough. I'm not going to put my camera on. Your bike sucks! I like to mess with them like that so they'll lay it over. One of these days I'll get them. He almost did. He almost did. That was great. One of these days I'll catch him. I'm this close. One of these days. I'm not a bully. I'm a fucking bully devourer. Are you kidding me? Listen, I'll make no apologies for standing up to bullies. Never. Okay, so before we were so rudely interrupted, are you guys regular supporters down here? You are?
We frequent like Durant, but yeah.
Okay.
Everything I hear about it comes in.
Right on. So you're one of those no job having Antifa people, right? I obviously say that, right? Because right, like it's not a bad thing. Yeah, right. It's kind of a good thing to be anti-fascism. Yeah, pretty anti-American, that whole fascist concept. So how long is this your first time here?
In Sherman, yes.
Okay.
But I've been to Denison and I frequent Durant.
Are you guys going to be in Durant this Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right on. So I will be there. How would you describe the environment, the protest environment in Durant? Like, what are rallies like there?
I mean, I feel like everyone on the side that we're trying to move the statue and whatnot, we're all very quiet, and I think that if one of us gets loud, we all try to chill the person out, And then on the other side, they just seem like they yell, and the one guy brought a gun because I guess he didn't feel safe and was getting in people's faces. But I mean, we're all very peaceful, and if someone on our side seems like they're getting mad or angry or yelling, we all step in and try to de-escalate the situation, and we also like to hear everybody's opinions. It's a really good conversation and whatnot.
So I've been a part of a difference of opinion, if you will. As an anti-racist activist, I feel inclined and I would even say morally, ethically, and spiritually obligated to blatantly and brazenly confront white supremacists, make them feel as uncomfortable as possible. Exactly. And let them know that what they're doing is not okay, not appropriate, and that they are not welcome. And I understand that there's a line, obviously, I don't condone threatening people in any way. It's obviously inappropriate. But I also, just as you saw there, when people are being and acting in a malice way to infringe on the rights of others, I personally don't have a problem with confronting that. But I feel like there's kind of this growing divide. I want to make sure I stand to the side because I don't want to block your sign. I feel like there's kind of this...
Thank you, by the way, for coming. I know that equipment not be easy.
Yeah, no worries. What's your name?
Seth.
Seth. Jessica, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Jess.
Are you from Sherman?
I'm from Durant.
Oh, okay, I will see you on Sunday as well. Yes, awesome. So I was just talking about how there seems to be a divide in like the way to handle it. How do you feel about that? Do you think people should like call out racists blatantly or just ignore them?
Don't ignore racism. It's just gonna spread. I mean, that's just like if you have fucking poison ivy, are you gonna ignore it? No, you're gonna confront it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got to nip this in the bud. People like think they're right because they're just being loud, so other people can't talk. You know, it just shows their character. All we have to do is have a conversation.
Right. I usually start that way. It just rarely gets to finish that way. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you guys. Thanks for taking a minute to talk with me. I will see you on Sunday.
Yes, you will.
See you guys both on Sunday?
Yep.
Cool.
It was an honor to attend one of your roasts.
Oh. Well, listen, I wish I could tell you that I plan it that way. I don't. I just show up and call it as I see it, you know.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Oh man, he was so red in the face. That guy's a business owner here, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's my understanding that he's a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans.
That doesn't surprise me.
Sure, yeah.
That's funny.
Y'all be safe. Have a good night.
I'll
I'll see you later behind me in the rear view mirror.
I actually saw him out here shaking hands with some of the BLM folk like a few weeks back. So it was kind of odd that.
Well, they love to come out and, I'm just a fan of history. I'm not a racist. I just want to protect history. Let's be friends. So that whenever their white supremacist militia buddies show up later with guns, people allow them to come in and fill the area and people don't immediately make them feel uncomfortable. So I just want to document this, as the evening ends, of course, there is the parade of Trump flags going around the square as people are leaving. Y'all be safe. All right. Okay, well, y'all, it's always fun. I'm wrapping up. This was a short and sweet evening here in Grayson County. I'm going to turn my live off so I can monitor. He's getting my license plate. Hey, that's Jessica Ray, Luther Rommel, but don't you worry, honey, I got your identity too. Don't you worry, honey, I know what company you own too. Don't worry, baby, you're gonna be famous. Don't you worry, you'll know exactly who to thank. Go ahead, look it up, see where I live, come visit me. I dare you. Come see me. You big tough boy, Klan boy. You and your Klan boy buddies. Go ahead. Now they're going to send a cop down here to mess with me. That old Sons of Confederate veteran dude came down here taking a picture of my license plate. Now they're going to send a deputy down here. Hey there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Appreciate you coming down here.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you going to get my license plate number?
I can. You mind?
Why not? I already gave my name. Did you get the license plate numbers of all those motorcycles that were out here earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Good, me too. I don't blame you. You too. That's okay, baby. I got yours too. Don't you worry. No secrets around here. You can wear all the hoods and robes you want. Everybody knows who you are. Welcome to the 21st century Ku Klux Klan. That's how it works. Hold on, y'all. See, they think they're gonna intimidate me, but they've got the wrong one.
Street. Head west on West Houston Street.
It's funny how they think that works. So now I would imagine if history repeats itself, what will happen is I will be followed out of town by official police and city authorities, and terrorists. And there's a truck here next to me on the left and the right. And I wouldn't be surprised one way or another. I'll just mount this up here so I'm hands-free. Done. Yeah, so there's definitely a truck who's gonna follow me out of town, it does appear. It's coming off the square here. So here's another prime example of cops thinking they can intimidate you by having your license plate and your name as if, you know, just you know what? We're gonna get on right here. We're gonna go to McKinney. So I am leaving. Now, definitely the same truck behind me here. Want to follow me out of town. It never gets old. Same old tactics, different century. It's funny to me, those cops try to act
In half a mile, turn left onto West Center Street.
But they obviously don't, because I surely did not see them go out and get the license plates of any other vehicle but mine. But that's okay. I have nothing to hide.
Turn left onto West Center Street, then turn left onto Sam Rayburn Freeway Frontage Road.
It's not a secret. But that's why I have to stay live all the way back because, well, quite frankly, I don't trust the local authorities to, A, protect me, but I do trust them to harass me and try to intimidate
In 1.1
me.
miles, take a slight left turn to merge onto US 75 South.
I would imagine a couple of the viewers here today are local authorities who might have found my feed online, and that's okay. I'm used to it. So the person who's behind me now is the same truck who followed me out of town. They're following pretty close. I would say
In 3/4 of a mile, take a slight left turn to merge onto US 75 South.
that they're trying to intimidate me. I'm interested to see if they get on the freeway behind me. Certainly not the first time I've been followed out of town. I doubt it'll be the last.
Use the left lane to take a slight left turn to merge onto US 75 South. Take a slight left turn.
Okay, they did not follow me onto the freeway.
In 4.4 miles, take exit 54 toward FM 902 and State Highway 5.
On the service road, so that's cool. I am no longer being followed, but I'm still in Grayson County. And they did take my license plate. An officer walked over as I was leaving the square and wrote down my license plate. He asked me if I minded, as if I had a choice. But anyway, they did take down my license plate, so they're definitely documenting me. I gave my name earlier. As you all know, I'm not afraid to do that, because why should I be? But I would not be surprised. I'm sure they're disappointed that they couldn't find anything on me. Hang on, y'all. Okay. So I'm going to take the long route home. There's a faster route taking country back roads, which is the one that I took to get there. But considering that it's dark, and I obviously made some new friends in Grayson County, and the lieutenant, the head of SWAT for Grayson County and Criminal Investigations, who I met tonight, can't wait to go back and review his name, who apparently attends every protest on the courthouse lawn to protect the courthouse from the violent people who are out there to obviously tear down the monument, as he put it. Anyway, he lives in Collin County, which is North Dallas, which is the direction that I'm headed. So it wouldn't surprise me. We all know these guys communicate. So anyway, I don't trust them. I'm just going to stay live. At least, well, probably all the way home. Because why not?
In 2 miles, take exit 54 toward FM 902 and State Highway 5.
It doesn't matter. At this point, it's a matter of safety. One thing I should have done tonight was encourage people watching to share the feed, which I didn't do at all throughout the entire feed. I should have done more of that. I will work on doing that more. I think it's because I've gotten out of the habit of broadcasting on Facebook. I do have to say, I know a lot of people are glad to see me back on Facebook. I really, really, really don't like having to choose which platform I'm on, especially now that I have the capability of broadcasting on multiple platforms. Oh, my partner just says, be safe, still listening, love you. I love you too, baby. I'm on my way. I really don't like having to choose between platforms, but when we're in those areas, the signal is so bad. I usually have to choose because...
Use the right lane to take exit 54 toward FM 902 and State Highway 5.
A lot of Wi-Fi power. So I have to choose one when it's that type of situation. I hope that people
take the exit
will be a little more encouraged to stand up to those guys. You know, those guys coming out there with those signs and stuff, like, they should be made to feel uncomfortable. They should be made to feel like what they're doing is wrong and racist, because
in 1.1 miles, turn right onto FM 902.
It's wrong, and it's
for 23 miles, continue straight.
Of people and trying to suppress their First Amendment rights. And also, FYI, when people are out giving history lessons about white supremacy and talking about the legacy of white supremacy and Confederate histories and the legacies of slavery, probably not the best idea to come out and hold Trump flags and scream Trump 2020. I mean, I'm not into the whole Trump cult thing myself, but just a little word of advice for those of you who are. It's a real bad look for you. It really, when you do that, you kind of give the impression that Trump supporters also support white supremacy and Confederate values of slavery. So, I mean, that's just, I hate to provide good advice to people I don't like, but, they're obviously not very smart and need some help understanding how that works. But yeah, I've never really understood the logic of that. Anyway, I love you too. I gotta go. I already missed taking 2 shots. Bye. I love you, Michelle. Enjoy your shots. No drinking game for me. I'm gonna go home and play a drinking game with kombucha and probably not watch very much of the debate. I won't be able to stomach it, but anyway, yeah. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Oh, I got another tail. Maybe. Oh yeah, definitely a cop behind me, no doubt. I can spot those headlights from a mile away. Yeah, so I do have a cop behind me right now who is coming up behind me. It's moments like this that I always want to hold my phone up and shoot out the back window. Not shoot out, obviously. Like show the back window. So I can show how close I'm being tailed right now. Maybe you can tell by the reflection of the headlights in my window, my mirrors. But this is definitely a cop behind me coming up really fast with their headlights, riding me, trying to get me to go faster than I should. I'm gonna ride the speed limit. Coming into Van Alstyne right now. Mile marker 52. I see I've got 4 people still with me. I sure appreciate that, whoever you are. Unless you're Trump stalkers, then fuck off. Have to keep my hands on the wheel anyway. I couldn't tell if it was county. I'm in Van Alstyne. I don't know what county that is yet. I don't know if I'm still in Grayson or if I'm in Collin County now. Anybody who's watching, listening. Nancy. Oh, that's so optimistic of you. I highly doubt it. Can someone Google that for me, Nancy? Since you're here, I'm going to ask you. Can you Google for me what county I'm in? What county Van Alstyne is? Is that still Grayson County or am I in Collin County now? Or Denton County. I know it carves out weird right here. I'm not sure what county I'm in. So I am leaving Grayson County, the Grayson County Courthouse in Sherman, heading back to Denton, and I am staying live as a result of, thank you, Nancy, just right before I left, an officer, well, first one of the white supremacists that I had an encounter with came over and took my license plate, picture of my license plate, and then when I told him, you know, when I called him a Ku Kluxer, because that's what he is, 21st century Klan boy, then a local sheriff's deputy came over and wrote down my license plate to intimidate me. So I was followed out of town by a truck. I have been tailed by at least one officer who just recently exited. I wasn't able to tell if it was a city of Van Alstyne or a county. It must have been a county deputy because it was before I entered the city limits of Van Alstyne. So I'm curious what county Van Alstyne is, if that's still Grayson County, if it's Denton through here, because I know Denton cuts weird up through part of McKinney and north of that, or if it's Collin County. because even when I get to Denton County, anybody who knows me or knows anything about me and my work also knows that I'm also highly disfavored and unappreciated by Denton County authorities as well. I'm working on, I should have a new piece out in the next few days about the man who died in the Denton County Jail, which I predicted last July would happen as I broke the story with Simone Carter of the Dallas Observer about the outbreak in the Denton County Jail, the COVID-19 outbreak that's been covered up, and how the sheriff isn't doing anything about it. And now, of course, someone has died, just as I expected. Okay, Nancy, thank you. So it just depends on where I am. I would imagine that was a Grayson County deputy then. And I would also imagine that he pulled off right as I got into Van Alstyne because it hit Collin County. So, because he exited right as I approached the city limits of Van Alstyne. So that must have been a Grayson County deputy. Because I imagine this part changes into Collin County on the highway. I might stand corrected. Here's County Line Road, so this must be the cutoff for Collin. I don't know. Hard to tell. I'll have to go home and look at a map later. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. I wasn't able to get any footage of him, but it just goes to show you the level to which they are willing to go to try to intimidate people like myself. So I'm just now, there's a county line sign. I've just now reached Collin County, so I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a county deputy. Maybe it was a city officer. I don't know. Regardless, it never ceases to amaze me the levels they will go to try to intimidate someone like myself. And, you know, for everybody who wants to say that I'm an instigator and all I do is go there, I mean, listen, I had a long civil conversation with the lieutenant tonight out there, and I even praised another deputy for his behavior, though he came back later and acted like a fool, made me regret it. You know, I'm always down to give cops credit when it's due, whenever they don't act like total heathens, but again, whenever I see them out there being buddy-buddy with white supremacists, as they tend to do, it's difficult to have much respect for them. Very difficult to understand why you would want to create a space that's comfortable for white supremacists. I don't know. Seems wrong to me. Seems racist. It's going to be a long weekend. I'm tired already. It's strange to see such a small crowd. I wanted to talk to, there was one black woman out there tonight. I never really got a chance to speak with her. I think she was local, and I was talking to some of the community organizers out there, the folks who've been putting this together, and you know, they were all white, and they were just talking about how the few black people in Sherman and Grayson County that they've talked to, of course, none of them feel comfortable coming out and being really vocal or putting themselves at the center of the discourse on having the monument removed. And anybody who's watched my feeds or followed like what's been going on in Gainesville and Cook County understands fully well why they would want to put themselves in that position, because we have seen time and time again how it results in harassment and intimidation.
In 10 miles, take exit 41 toward US 380 and Greenville.
Beratement. So, you know, it's unsurprising that people would not want to do that. See a few people popping in and out. I'm just staying live now. I'm on my way back from Sherman. Had some interactions with some counter white supremacists and with local authorities who tailed me out of town and the county. And so as a result of that, I am staying live on my journey home, so was to prevent any, hopefully, to prevent any harassment on the road, or should I encounter any by authorities to document it. But yeah, so it was a pretty typical event, as we've seen. Pretty standard MO for the way these protests go. A bunch of people stand around with signs condemning white supremacy. A bunch of people show up with flags and signs for pro-Trump, because apparently the counter to anti-white supremacy is Trump 2020, as we have seen time and time again. Still to this day, I don't understand why these folks don't understand that it's just a bad message. And so now I'm taking the long way home on the major highways so as to avoid the back roads that are faster, because I don't want to get caught up in some back roads on the way home. I'll tell you what I'm not looking forward to is Kaufman County. Really not looking forward to Kaufman County. I think that call it a hunch, call it a intuition, if you will. Not looking forward to Kaufman. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say a hunch or an intuition. I do have some insider information, if you will, or tips regarding the anti-sport that has been espoused by some of the locals, the people who are upset about Texas Reconstruction project coming there. Which the whole thing, I mean, you know, obviously anyone who knows me knows I support history, but I also don't support giving a platform to white supremacists, and I just worry that some of this hesitancy to confront it and call it out for what it is, again, just gives it a platform. I don't know. I'm struggling with it lately. Y'all know what though? I miss my dog. All I want to do is go home and hug my puppy. I've got a new puppy. His name is Dava, and we're in love. I'm just totally in love with this dog. He's amazing. And all I want to do is go home and hug him and snuggle with my partner and my puppy. My Dave and my Dava. I named my puppy after my husband. He's our firstborn son. Oh, so yeah. I am hoping that future protests will have a little more support. I know that there was a division in support tonight, with it being the debate supposedly, but I wonder, it's interesting to me. I just didn't meet anybody who seemed to be like the organizing person in Sherman, and I know that there were other protests, that the protests have been going on there for a while, but like it seems that the majority of the people that I spoke with were from Durant County, or from Durant, Oklahoma, and out of town. So I'm just wondering, and maybe some of the Gainesville peeps know, like, I'm wondering if those people were pushed out or made to feel uncomfortable. I don't understand why. I just didn't ever seem to find anybody there tonight who was in any kind of community leader or organizer. Only a few people that were local, but nobody who ever really was able to say, like, you know, yeah, we're the person who chose Thursday, or who first started doing this, or anything like that. And that's strange to me. It makes me wonder how, who, what, when mean, I'm not going to lie. I always feel uncomfortable going into another community to participate in anti-racist activism and not seeing any representation from communities of color, Black, Brown, Indigenous communities in the area. It's unnerving, and I just want to be clear. Like, obviously, it's not up to those communities to direct white people to be anti-racist activists or to participate in anti-racist activism, because surely that is not the case. But it's just always concerning to me when the loudest voices at the table are all are white, and when they're all white. And maybe that's a result of the fact that maybe people there, Nancy, that's it. I mean, we did hear some mention of that, and so I'm wondering if that's the case, if maybe those people were coming out and aren't feeling comfortable to do so anymore, or maybe they've never felt comfortable, or maybe tonight was just a fluke night. I don't know. But it's just something that I can't help but notice, and I don't want to say I'm alarmed by it, but I certainly notice it, and it has my attention, and I definitely hope that in the future I can make more connection, or make a connection with some of the community leaders, whoever they may be, and get their 2 cents on what's been going on out there, and just get an idea of how things have come to fruition out there, and what support is needed, or wanted for that matter, in the community regarding that monument. I feel like maybe the folks in Gainesville told me a while back that they were going to a protest there, and I was invited. I wasn't able to make it, and I know that protests have been going on there on and off for a while now. So I mean, there's got to be some kind of organization, and by organization I don't mean an organization, but there has to be some kind of organizing going on in order for it to be this consistent thing that it appears to be. But I was never able to pinpoint that down tonight. Did y'all see when I assaulted that guy's sign tonight? It was terrible. It's despicable. I just backhanded that sign and showed it what was what. I bet it's going to be black and blue tomorrow. Can you believe those cops let me get away with assaulting that guy's sign like that? It's a shame. I can't wait to go back and make him famous. Make a little clip of that. All these proud white supremacists, super proud till you start keeping a camera pointed at them. Then they get so upset and flustered they don't know what to do with themselves. Over there telling the cop, you better tell her to stop. You better tell her to stop. You better tell her to stop. Tell her she can't do that. You better tell her to stop. I can't be held responsible for what's going to happen if she don't. Which is a threat. And that dude literally said that to a cop tonight. And nothing. You didn't see a bunch of cops come storming up at him to try to intimidate him for saying something like that about me to them. But they all want to come up on me for knocking his sign out of his hand while he's trying to hit me in the face with it. So silly. Know your rights. Stand up for it. You want to take me to jail for defending myself? Go ahead. Make me famous. Shit. It's just absurd to me the way these guys function. That whole charging up on people to try to intimidate them. They're cops. What are they doing? They're cops. Out here acting like it's 1920 and they're rolling with the Ku Klux Klan. They probably are. Shit. The way they all hugged and stuff at the end of the night. I'll see you on Sunday for dinner, bub. Okay, see you then. Tell the wife I said hi. All right then. See y'all at church. Okay, bye-bye now. I mean, shit. They don't even need secret handshakes anymore. They don't try to hide it. crazy to me. It's just so brazen. So damn proud of themselves. 2 people, one of whom I know is my loving partner. Thank you for staying with me, baby. Makes me wonder who the other one is. Nancy, are you still there? I want to know who the other one is. Oh, more people just popped in. So we finished the protest in Sherman County, doing what they're told. Where have we heard that? Yeah, no shit, Nancy. You nailed that shit on the head. So they wrapped up the protests in Sherman, Texas, and in Grayson County, with some typical racist bigot counter protesters. No guns or weapons pulled, thankfully. Gentleman did have a knife on him, who I pissed off a few times, but nothing too terribly aggressive. And I did manage to, as usual, piss off the local authorities by holding them accountable and not letting them intimidate me. But nothing too terrible, too crazy. One of the deputies just tried to intimidate me as I was leaving by taking down my license plate. Like, yeah, dude, that's what I did. I drove a hot car with, bad license or registration to a protest to confront cops. That's what I did, because I'm like the smartest cookie in the jar. Ding dong. Anyway, and I was tailed out of Sherman and out of Grayson County down the highway, so that's nothing new. Same thing has happened before. Nothing I'm not used to, but just going ahead and staying live until I get home as a safety precaution, so that people know what's going on with me. It's really weird, the audience tonight. I guess it's going to take me a while. It's my first broadcast on Facebook since the community action page was started, which is where I will be sharing all of my future lives, and we'll be hopefully conducting some webcasts with conversations with other community activists, and just using it as a place to disseminate information. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, Nancy. It's awfully nice of you. Sure do appreciate that. It's really great and supportive of you. Once I'm done with this, hopefully more people will be able to watch it from the beginning. That's always one thing that's really frustrating with a live, is you can't watch it from the beginning until I end it. So anybody who missed it earlier can't watch the live until I end this one. I think I might go ahead and end it soon, now that I'm back towards my neck of the woods. I feel like I can always go live if I need to again, so I think I'm probably going to go ahead and cut it now that I'm back over closer to my neck. But to everybody that tuned in tonight, whether you're watching live right now, the few of you that are, or if you're watching this later, I'm sure nobody who watches this later will go this far into my drive home, which is fine. But I'll say it anyway. Thank you, and I look forward to being live with you more now that we've got the whole Facebook situation figured out, because I don't think I'm ever going to get my old Facebook profile back. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Good job, white supremacists. White supremacist 1, Jessica 100. All right, talk to y'all later.